Actually, you're not gonna open a special drink right now. I'm gonna open one of my bowls of groundnuts. Because energy is.
Hi everyone. Yeah. Another episode of Tabletop. Sorry that we missed Star Wars on Monday. My love.
Christoph is a lie, kids. That hurt.
Still recovering from illness, but yeah. Welcome and enjoy the Pathfinder.
Man, that is really upbeat music I just found. That'll work. Alright, so. You guys all set for recap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys last session returned back to the Temple of the Phrasmans, you managed to spend the night in some rest as well as speaking to the clergy there. Let's see, double checking some stuff here. You encountered, as you moved about away from your prior, you encountered some looters, loading a local shopkeep named Batep, who didn't have much cash as you drove off the looters and moreover convinced them to help with the disaster relief. But he did offer you a rare commodity in thanks, 2 packets of Sears, as well as tea, if you want to return later for other refreshments when it's less terrible. As he had tried to open as the town was calming down a little as you guys were helping reduce the panic. Also, yes, I'm sorry, chat, my voice is still very weak, but we're trucking through. Otherwise, there was also an encounter with a lady who was being accosted by zombies, and as you moved over to assist, some psychopomps known as Essabox came in and attacked the zombies and almost killed the woman at the same time. They seem to be here on the order of the Lord of the Voices of the Spire, the militant arm of Pharasma, by the name of Shepses. Shepses is, you guys identified that they're probably summoned by a summon lesser psychopomp spell, but even Kasin and Verloaz pointed out how even Pharasma doesn't really... Essobox are more to patrol for errant souls and not really even seen in good regards as most psychopomps, as they're just kind of vicious. But otherwise, for you, they're basically an amalgam of bear and crocodile. You can find a picture in the Discord.
Trampled
Yeah, trampled Deckle because Deckle had gotten up to the woman to try to help, and it also attacked him, but Deckle survived, whereas the woman almost died.
That thing trampled you? I thought it was kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. I saw the picture.
But yes, they let out a kind of ghastly scream as things get close, but otherwise, leaving them alone, the party had identified that they would fade away in so many rounds. But this is against what was agreed between Sabti and Shepses from what you heard, as Kasin was privy to the conversation. And apparently they were not going to be summoning those by the agreement, but then they were, and not only that, but they're also obviously causing wounding and potentially other deaths, since if, as Kasin said, that Shepses is not known to do anything halfway, which means they're causing more deaths. Sabti is on a bit of a war path. You guys were moving out to where there was some civil discourse. You had found that there was a group of angry locals who had cornered an elven sorceress by the name of Sahosep Nan and her husband Bentu Nan, who was dead, and the pulse revived him into a zombie. She seemed to be a little well, more than a bit aggro. She was using illusions and sonic energy to try to disperse a crowd that was only growing. You managed to break up all but the most angry of the crowd, and then you managed to turn away the last of them. But then you found that Sep was a bit addled with grief as she was treating her husband as though he were alive when he was clearly a zombie. And you convinced her to let you all put him down, and then gave her a piece of the body so she could seek at least say reincarnate at the Phrasmans once their magic was free, and then sending her on her way to the Phrasman church. But otherwise, then finally, you guys are moving off towards the court district in the same areas. No more random encounters. You had heard that there was a greater undead that took up residence there. Some of the people who were part of the crowd going against Sahosep reported to you that there was an old magistrate, Magistrate Sotenra, known as Old Eye Taker, who was a particularly vicious judge who has taken up the court and thrown out anyone who was taking refuge there apart from his undead bailiffs. He seems to have taken command of the otherwise mindless undead in the area, including this area, where they're being drawn to drag people back to the courtroom to stand trial before him. The Mommy Tavern, Gabriel? Yes, especially Goblin. He is definitely a... Gabriel's asking, is this the Mommy Tavern?
Yes, especially me.
Fourth mom.
And that's where we left off. You guys were approaching the courts. I know you talked about just assaulting it, but then you also know that potentially engaging with it, if you were to, could potentially bring the psychopomps. However, was brought up that defeating him in court would probably also be a good way to reduce his power to nothing. That's where we're starting. So you guys don't have to worry about a random encounter because this is literally just like half a block. What you know, a lot of undead and then some powerful bailiffs are there.
Who's our best lawyer?
Don't know.
I do not have good
I
social skills.
suppose Hobbs?
Hobbs is good bluff. That would make him a wonderful defense attorney.
Yeah.
You're saying I should play the Better Call Saul intro?
Yeah.
I'm also good at setting people on fire.
Sure, that'll help.
Not sure how the court, views that as a legal defense.
People can't be guilty if they're on fire.
Ah, yes, the Russian defense.
Oh my
Exactly.
goodness.
Thank you, you got it.
Yeah, I truly don't know. Sarika is just now getting social skills. Like, he's just now getting social skills. So,
I mean, I got pretty good, bluff, and I got pretty good intimidation. My diplomacy is not bad. Yeah, I got decent social skills. IRL probably paying game.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Alright. Well, if you want to approach it that way, you can.
Yeah.
My mic is very close to my face. I don't know why I'm quiet today.
Excuse me, I'm the one with the weak voice. Thank you very much. Also,
Yeah,
find it.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like your horse voice. It's actually not bad.
What?
You when you're losing your voice, I don't think I've ever heard it before, but actually it sounds pretty good.
Oh. Oh.
I like your
Those
voice
things, I suppose?
anyways. It's just like also. Yeah.
It's just interesting to me how like random syllables just go silent, and I'm just like, what? Like there.
Yeah.
All right. So, sounds like you guys are gonna take a bit of a look. So to start, you can see that the court is a low sandstone building, worn smooth from centuries of exposure, standing out amongst larger, more recent constructions. Statues lining the wall hold swords and scales, but the fresh corpses scattered on the street outside the doors hinted something far darker within.
Well, thank you.
Fun.
You can see as there are some undead standing, just kind of watching. It looks like they're standing guard around the courthouse, but unlike normal undead that start kind of trudging towards anything they see, it's clear these ones are watching you, but just kind of standing there and just kind of, but they're not standing like supreme, like disciplined guards, more just kind of leering and kind of like shifting from leg to leg.
Put them on a leash.
Yeah. Just so I have a grasp on this, like we're in a court that's being held by the
Outside of a
undead?
court. Yes. Outside of a courthouse. Is being held by undead. Apparently an old magistrate rose and is running a rather sick court, judging from the number of corpses here.
Dear God, undead bureaucracy. This can't stand.
I don't know. This sounds like your line of.
Yeah, it feels like Magram would be right up this.
Well, I mean, almost. He would
Apart from the
directly-
undead.
Yeah, he would be directly opposed to this, actually.
Yeah, you are literally opposing counsel. Yeah, however you wish to approach it, if you want, you could probably examine the bodies.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Good idea.
You can see that each of them has had one eye removed, given the name of the magistrate. That too. Give me a heal check or knowledge local or history. You can do a heal, and as well as knowledge local or history. So 2 different checks.
Okay, my mouse cooperate here. Heal and then knowledge local or history, is that what you said?
Correct.
Here's a heal check. Quick little 25.
So you can tell that they have bruises and signs of restraint, and that the eye itself wasn't a lethal wound, but the shock from it was.
Okay. Unfortunately, I am trained in knowledge history, but it's not very good.
Did anyone else want to try to roll?
I can
Sure.
try.
I am not trained in any of those, so
Make
Greedark
the DC on this
knows all
one,
about
but yeah, Greark is well knowledge. So if you like, you can go with Greark. So Greark, you can recall that one point centuries ago, Wati only had 2 forms of punishment for their justice, which were either the loss of an eye or death.
Grizzly?
it. Kind of an easy choice.
They got both.
Well, you're not wrong. Probably didn't have Hobbs an attorney.
I mean they probably
stuff.
did.
Good to see.
Well, should we proceed? Try to get even with this court. An eye for an eye. Just kind of nudge Hobbs.
That was a bad joke. You should feel that.
I do. Let's proceed.
I do. Mhm.
I agree.
So tempted to go get a picture of like the Phoenix Wright courtroom and put it up on the stream.
You know, Hobbs, I was thinking that one shouldn't really be beholden to their own beliefs.
I love the have you seen the Phoenix Wright bot on Twitter where you can like have it do a conversation and it puts in the different characters?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen the results of that. I've never used it though.
Someone did that. It was for a fake argument I had with someone online about pretend that we're arguing in front of our kids. It was pretty good.
I love Phoenix Wright so much. It's great. All right, so as you get in, you can see that there are the skeletal remains of some bailiffs standing at a more rigid guard. As the inner walls reveal the singular cord inside. There are some other people being held in here that you can see as the mindless undead are just kind of standing guard by them and just kind of watching you, but then turning their gaze back to watch their prisoners who are watching. You can hear that the court is currently in session. It seems that this Tenra is currently proclaiming against a victim standing in the lone box. Seems that there's some more bailiffs within the court. It's just simply just say you can just simply hear just those who have sinned against the Pharaoh should forfeit the souls their eyes house. You have no solid defense, so and you can see that the skeleton on the back, number one, is wearing a bit of a black fez and is this bright red as you realize that they're dripping with blood. They have glowing blue eyes and a golden band around their head as they're wearing tattered old judge robes. Their bailiffs in here seem to be a similar, either burnt black or red. But they don't seem to be dripping blood like he does, though. But it seems that he's taking note of you coming in, but is continuing with his bit of a denouncement of the man in the defendant's box.
Is the man in the defendant's box alive?
Oh, yeah.
Is he undead?
Oh, he's alive. It's clear he has claw marks on him. Looks like he's been drugged here by some skeletons, but
And there's other people like that as well.
yes, being held outside of the courtroom itself. Inside the courtroom, the only ones that you see in the pews are undead that are actually sitting and just... It's less up, like they're mindless, so it doesn't seem like they're watching, but they're just kind of sitting and idling.
Just trying to get a read on our terrain here. How many undead are in this room? Like if things really went bad.
There are 8 undead within the pews. There are a total of 6 bailiffs, 2 on the outside doors, and then 4 inside the court with the magister. And then there's another 8 undead outside, but the doors are quite large.
Boss,
There-
a lot of them. All right.
There are also quite a few civilians out there, but they seem to be unarmed.
Okay, I was just wondering. Just wanted to get a layout.
Let me see if the other map has a map. There's a map per se, and I might be able to reuse one.
You don't have to populate. I was just mostly curious about like if things went badly, could we actually just murder hobo our way out of here? But that's a lot of undead.
That's not a no.
I never said no. I was just saying it's a lot of them. It would take us a minute.
Main channels help. You also have had arrest goblins, so make sure you
Oh,
account
thank
for
you so
that.
much, actually. Yeah, I have to replenish some things.
Also, remember whenever I said my fire ability is stronger than my diplomacy ability, that might come in handy.
Yeah, not wrong.
Okay.
You can also see that there are 2 jail cells on the left. More people waiting to be brought in.
Do we know like what specific kind of undead this Magister is?
Knowledge religion could assist you with that.
I'm gonna try that. I feel like we should get a handle on what kind of undead we're dealing with.
If you look north of the F1 where you guys went into the underground base, you'll see a new section open there.
Oh yeah.
Take her
That's a lot of
eyes,
guys.
Like I said, it would be a few. It would take a while.
Listen, I'm just saying. All this needs is a burning hands, and it'll take care of most of the problem. All right, like.
I'm more worried about them slaughtering cities while we clear them out, so probably better to just avoid it.
Where you guys are in one of the doorways, and the guards are letting you pass. They don't seem that worried, but then there's more. Well, let me get some humans here. Yeah, you guys should be able to drag yourselves from the underground up here.
Where's my handsome token? Oh, I need to actually make one.
It should be down there. You were down there.
At the bottom of the screen. I don't see my token.
I think you got rid of them because they're like kind of just there and they weren't being used. So you might move them to like the darkness.
Oh, I might have moved you into the darkness. That's what I usually do. Let me take a peek. Oh, I see you in the gym layer.
You were sent to the Shadow Realm.
I was assisting Mahram.
Orbin time.
Okay, so where are we at? In the doorway where everybody else is?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, some undead for sure. A blue token in the middle of the room, that's the defendant?
Yeah.
A box full of germs, they're all undead. Me as a person loves that. Sarik finds that to be despicable.
But otherwise, he continues on with this as if you come in and it seems like if you're not interrupting him, he seems like he has no major qualms with you being there. The guy's trying his best. He's like, how am I supposed to defend myself against this? You're holding me to the standard. I mean, and you can tell that. And then suddenly he's just like, if you are going to speak in my court, you will speak the Pharaoh's tongue. As it's clear that the Magister speaks ancient Osiriani. So anyone who speaks standard Osiriani, you have a chance, but it's very hard to speak between it, and just kind of interrupts as the guy just. But I suppose the question is if you are going to interrupt or if you're going to let it get to its conclusion before you.
I think of that, Greg would probably raise her hand and speak in ancient Sorry. Like, I can serve as a translator.
Give me a diplomacy. You see as the guy kind of looks over and nods, but I'm not sure for a second. It looks like you see his eyes looking kind of flare at you as he's just. I did not ask for the interruption of a translator, but I suppose he needs one.
Greg would slowly approach.
there any like observer pews or anywhere we should be at? Or is it just
I mean-
kind of whatever?
They seem pretty nonplussed about where you are now, so it seems like you're fine.
Okay.
Slot in amongst all the undead sitting there.
I'm mostly seeing about what my radiuses could be.
Checking for AoEs, checking for.
Right? Oh yeah, knowledge religion. So Hobbs and Sarik, you can recognize that he is a bloody skeleton. He's specifically a, let's see, 15, and that would be, yep. So you recognize that he is a bloody dread skeleton, so a much higher level intelligent one. Generally means they're going to have fast healing, means that he won't officially die unless you apply holy energy to his body, because you'll even reform from any of the blood that's dripped. Other than that, and then they also be command skeletons, and they have very strong DR if you're not using bludgeoning, and very strong against channels. They're immune to cold and other normal undead traits. You would know that he can't command. It does show why he has only skeletons here, is they can only command skeletons. So the zombies probably were either just kind of wandered off or killed. But the bailiffs, you realize though, are another form of. They are what look like very strong exploding skeletons. One dies, they explode in their own explosions. Generally, you can't tell from their look because they seem to have a flaming aura, which indicates that they might be fire explosions. Otherwise, sometimes they explode in bone fragments, which are piercing explosions.
You can deal with the fire explosions.
Once again, more worried about civilians as opposed to us.
The civilians are being held by normal skeletons, which seems to also be the ones in the pews. Seem to be just normal ones.
I'm sorry, did you say the exploding skeletons have any amount of elemental like resistance?
These seem to have like a fiery look to them, but which would, if they are the fiery type of exploding skeletons, they explode in a 10-foot radius burst of fire, which generally those ones are immune to fire. Otherwise, all skeletons are immune to cold, as well as standard undead traits. Otherwise, if they are the piercing type ones, then fire will hurt them normally. Because it could just be aesthetically fire.
Okay. I will stop detracting. Just really trying to size up what we got around us.
Oh, it's a big group. And these ones have barred doors, so these guys can't directly come out and help, but they're not in direct threat either. Well, he continues to go on. Do you have a translator? Do you have any other defense before I meet your sentence and judgment? Yeah, kind of looks at you always like, just in regular ironic kind of money. He's like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to. He's undead. He's mad.
Hobbs, maybe you should, I don't know, spin a yarn, or?
I'll ask the dude, and I think I know the story already. I'm not sure if I know it.
You have a translator, so you're
Cool.
You're assist you.
I'll ask the man, what are you even here for?
Apparently being alive.
Is it bad that my first thought was not on the inside? That's what counts. Is that it? They're only trying to accuse you of being...
No, they're also saying crimes against the Pharaoh.
Okay, have you done anything to, like, temples, to... Have you
You
pissed
should-
off any pharaohs?
I mean, I don't know if I pissed them off, but I haven't done anything against the temple. I've I'm devout to our current Pharaoh and the old ones. I don't, and I can't imagine that all those people out there are, because they're just grabbing anyone who's living and dragging them back here, and everyone gets the same treatment.
Do we know what pharaoh that this
Oh.
magistrate is from?
Actually, yeah, last session it was revealed some of the stuff there was that. What was the name? Did we put it in the Discord?
I don't think we did we?
Also, I don't remember the exact stats but if it comes to blows, I thought we put them in the Mummy's Mask chat, but I guess I was wrong. Didn't the Kopesh do something specific to undead?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I'm like, it's not the best defense, but at least I'll have something to defend against undead if I need it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find the. Manev gave you some, since he knew. Because you found out that the you found a note mentioning Moret Hetef, the leader in charge of the cult, the one with the golden masks. And then you killed Ekram, which was the one with the Natron Fang, which is the Kopesh you found. But basically that the cult was here trying to get to the Forgotten Pharaoh. But there was a shit, I know it was mentioned. It's a cult of the Forgotten Pharaoh. Oh wait, let me check the note. The note probably mentions it. Hakatep. Hakatep's moment of resurrection. Because they had used bandits as a cover for their cult and forced the bandits to comply. The Natron Fang ignores DR from mummy-like creatures, and then if you're striking undead, it'll deal charisma damage to the normal damage if you once a day, if you wish, on a successful hit. And then they get a will save for half, but you could save that for a crit too.
I was like, I remembered it doing something against undead, and I thought I had it written down or put it in Mummy's Mask chat or something.
Yeah, and then it's made of salt crystal, strengthened and magically hardened. So basically, it also is treated as blessed for slaying undead.
So dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then it was pink, and I was like, pink.
Yes, pink salt.
Well,
I'll tell you guys in game terms, basically this is when you guys can do some skill checks. You get a variety of choices, and you guys not one person has to do all of them. There's quite a few skills that are applicable for arguing in court. It becomes very clear that he's kind of lumping defense in counsel with the defendant, because he's... I'll show you the picture I have of him, because he's... Do-do-do-do. Oh yeah, man, his life surge, dude.
Oh, he looks wonderful.
I am pretty sure I've seen Bro Thulu do that exact costume for Halloween.
Just fucking dip himself in red paint.
Yeah, it's just really red paint.
I'm
yeah.
telling you, in either of those cases, it would not be the craziest thing I've seen him do.
Let's say maybe ask him how you can guilty of Pharaoh who's not the
Oh yeah, the skills you guys can use. And each one can only be attempted once, but if you guys make more than half of them, then because you get 5 choices. And then if you make more than half of them, then you defeat him in court. But you guys do have to tie it to a good argument for what you're doing. You can use bluff, diplomacy, intimidate, knowledge local, and then perform oratory or sense motive.
Sense motive, you say?
Can I use that?
Actually,
as
there's 6.
diplomacy?
Oh, you do 5 checks, but there are 6 choices. You can only do each one once. Well, yeah.
Honestly, I'd be good for an intimidate roll on myself.
Well, you can do multiple between each. It's just each skill check can only be attempted once, and you do 5 total. You're not rolling against the DC, you're rolling against the judge himself in the same skill.
I did diplomacy my argument.
Yeah.
So you diplomacy the shit out of that argument.
Yes, I take her just looks at you and just me. A pharaoh is pharaoh as long as he lives, and undeath is still a form of living.
For just unhealthily, hey, is that wrong?
How can you claim undeath is a kind of living whenever the undead are in fact neither living or dead? Are you saying that everyone else who is either living or dead is beneath you because they are not undead? And I like to sense motive.
Okay. I personally would feel that way now, but I suppose while I was alive I wouldn't. Maybe that's unfair. You guys have won that challenge. How is this adventure music? What the hell?
It's a quarter
I'm
adventure.
listening to KDA, so
I'm listening to Cyberpunk Edge Runners, so we all have a little bit of something else going.
Yes, cyberpunk totally fits with my mask.
I do have Cyberpunk in my mix for my Zeitgeist one because it has steampunk and cyberpunk.
Do not blame me. The Cyberpunk anime was fucking lit.
Still gotta watch it.
I didn't even know they made one.
I saw it. I haven't watched it.
Shameless promotion. It's really good. It's on Netflix. Don't only watch it if you're 18 or over.
The remaining checks are bluff, intimidate, knowledge local, and perform oratory.
don't want me helping.
I just don't know what to like. I really want to intimidate the fucker, but I don't know what to say. And this is a koala fault. I just don't know what I'm
Maybe
So
something
can we-
about Pharasma's judgment is going to be harsh on them.
Yeah, because the old Pharaoh said to from what you've seen, all of the old tombs all liked Pharasma, so Shir's probably well regarded, even in since it seems like whenever they listed all the Egyptian gods, Pharasma was right next to them.
Okay. I'll do my best.
yeah, I'll say, my defendant here has told me that you are randomly picking people off the street with no prior, claims or evidence that they've done anything wrong, just baseless accusations. How do you feel that your goddess or your pharaoh will feel about this? Just, do you think she'll treat you kindly? Grabbing random people and accusing them of things that they've never done before, and then passing judgment on them in her name?
Damn, get it.
Nope.
Oh no!
No!
Nah,
I mean,
Tragic.
1 second. I thought of good shit to say. I'm not letting this go to waste. Yeah, fuck it. I'm using a hero point. I want to reroll that shit.
I'm applying a bonus because what you said was awesome.
Cool. again. That's a
Much
little
better.
better.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so he kind of just we have to, if we find a criminal, we bring them into court. That's the way it. He kind of sputters a bit, but it's clear he has no real argument against it. That's 2 victories for you.
I want to try something a little, maybe a little iffy.
I believe in you fully.
I can't help but notice that so far all the people you've judged, you've used a rather archaic and outdated form of punishment of removing their eyes. Should you even be presiding over this court if you're not adhering to the current local laws and local punishments? I'd like to use knowledge local.
All right.
I think he for real just caught this person up
Ah,
on
shit.
local government.
Not terrible, not that great.
Good argument still, though.
They'll just roll like shit. It's fine. Or they won't. I'm sorry. I lied
They
to you.
actually have a modifier of -17.
It's super impressive.
You know, he's a terrible judge. He just stops and looks and just simply, the old ways are no less valid in my court. So you're 2 and 2.
Gonna bluff the shit out of this.
Yeah, you got bluff or perform.
I could try to bluff too. I have a really good bluff.
Yeah, make up a bluff.
I will literally be like, no. She has a point, and I'll pull out a journal or like I'll pull out a book, and I'll start reading from it, essentially saying like, no, it says right here, using of the old ways instead of the new ones can result in some incredibly serious punishment, and there's several cases of people being what's the word? Fuck. I'm trying to think of the word where you essentially get like banished from an area.
Exile?
Yeah. People get exiled, people they disappear. Oh, there's a lot of bad things that can happen if you don't use the current rolling system. Talking out my ass. There we go.
There it is. There it is. Guaranteed that one.
Oh, so as you're just trying, you're like holding up this book, reading out of nothing, basically.
It's
There's
upside
just
down.
And he doesn't speak common. It's fine.
Yeah.
But she said he kind of raises a finger to try to counter you, and then the finger begins crumbling to dust, and it seems like the bailiffs go along with him, as it seems like he just crumbles away. It is most notable, however, as they all begin to crumble away into nothing. But the other ones don't. They're just but they are still just kind of sitting there, still just like kind of stuck in their mode.
Talking out my ass has never been so effective.
Indeed. Should we do something about that?
Yeah, it's just a regular undead, right?
Yeah, those are
I'm
just
gonna channel-
skeletons.
I'm gonna channel energy positive, just fucking nuke them.
Yeah, if you want to say one, I'll just let you do that to like basically do a wave that washes out over the extra, like the excess too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so you mentioned put the rest of them down since they only have 3 hit points, and that'll almost guaranteed kill them all unless they roll like you roll like 2 and so. You mentioned-
Honestly, is there a stone doorway around here?
I mean, yeah, the normal doors are supposed to be made of stone.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna go up to the stone. This is. I promise going somewhere. I'm gonna go up to the stone doorway and do something that like I haven't done in this campaign yet. Well, like not out loud. We go to the stone doorway with a hammer and with my hammer and chisel, and just carve the rune for repose there for obedience to Magram, because we just
Nice.
destroyed this guy in court.
Is that the equivalent of just writing "get fucked nerd" on the side of?
Pretty much, but like in accordance with my god.
Yeah.
For the rules of my god, you are now.
Crash gotta see if he ate any shit.
Let me see. Yeah, you can see that the bailiffs didn't have anything on them, as they were just, skeletons with everything else rotted off. he does have a Masterwork Gavel, as well as a Masterwork Circlet.
On a circlet.
The Circlet is magical.
Did you say a masterwork gavel?
Yes.
Just hold up. Hey, Sarik, this is kind of a hammer.
Can I make an argument for my god's holy weapon?
Yeah, I really want you to fucking destroy people with a magical gavel.
I mean, I might be able to use a magical gavel too.
Is it
Uh-huh.
magical?
The gavel, yes.
Oh, okay. Who has identified
Magical.
magic?
I only have read magic, I'm sorry.
If you guys want to take some time the cages are just slats, so you can easily let them out.
Yeah, it's gonna let them down.
Yeah.
You have the other 8 people outside. You could bring them in here. I'm not gonna add them to the token, but
Yeah, let's kind of just like pull up everybody with our line of sight.
We are freeing you. Do not resist.
Honestly.
Maybe we can flag down a guard to get him an escort out of here.
yeah. So just tell me which one you're identifying and give me a spellcraft. Takes 10 minutes to attempt unless you're using identify.
I don't think I have it slotted. I don't.
I know somebody else has really good spellcraft. I have pretty good spellcraft.
That makes one of us.
I have decent spellcraft. I don't have identify slot today, though.
Yeah, I
Bob.
don't have a. Yep.
Tell me, what does this gavel do?
Damn,
Obs. You would recognize that as a judicial hammer with a transformative effect on it. So it can be a gavel, in which point it functions like a throwing hammer, and then at which point it can also be grown up into a warhammer, and then it can also be grown even bigger into an earthbreaker, where then basically it becomes a hammer with spikes on the end of it. So then it's
What?
bludgeoning and piercing. So it functions otherwise as the magical item known as a judicial hammer. Well, it's a judicial hammer on the PFSRD. It has a specific name. Let me find it. I think it's called the Hammer of Justice. But in any case, once per, that's its +1 effect. Is it can basically shift between throwing hammer, warhammer, and earthbreaker with a swift action as you're holding it. Otherwise, then once per day, you can speak the command word, which is the ancient Osirian word for justice, and name a specific crime that you believe an individual within 30 feet has committed. Whenever they now take damage from the hammer, they must succeed at a will save or immediately and truthfully confess their innocence or guilt in the named crime. And if they speak the same language as the wielder, then they must confess in that language.
What?
Noise.
And then that effect lasts for 24 hours or until they fail their will save, whichever comes first. So you could even lose sight of somebody and find them and make them admit it.
That ability is called what?
Well, that's just the thing. If you look up on the PFSD, it's called the Judicial Hammer, and then yours has a specific transformative effect on it for its +1 effect for the house rule, where basically you can shift between. That's it on there. I'm gonna find it because I have champions and balance. Yeah.
I feel like I can't fight for Sarik for this one.
I don't say anything. I say it's far too powerful. You have to hand it over. It could kill you. It's very cursed.
I will vibe check you right now.
Do it. Fucking I'll bluff you. Let's roll off.
Swear to God.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm lying out my ass.
Yes,
Oh,
very
no.
cursed, very cursed, very cursed. Yes.
DM,
No,
I do have a.
It actually is called the Judicial Hammer.
Oh, nice.
Also, if you haven't seen, go ahead.
I have a very important question.
What's up?
So, say for instance, you take this hammer, and there's someone in front of you and you accuse them of, say, I don't know, the crime of adultery, and then you bonk them with that. Is this now the the anti-horny hammer?
I can say
I need to go to.
horny jail.
Just
I'm gonna be right
crumbles
back.
dust.
I need to use the restroom.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, you can send people to horny jail. You
I
have
wanna-
the horny hammer.
I'm just
I wanna-
imagining like everyone you accuse, you're wrong. You're just like keep forcing people to prove you wrong.
Yeah. What if you could like throw it and it transforms like mid throw? That's still probably broken. Pretty broken. You just throw earth splitters at people.
Throw Earthbreaker.
Yeah, like,
You throw the gavel and just like right
Yeah, you
before it
just change
hits
it.
someone, it's suddenly Earthbreaker.
yeah, like can you imagine?
Can you fucking Thor that shit back to you too?
With a belt, I could.
We need to get you that belt.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, we gotta use these belts, man.
Oh my god, with that belt, I absolutely could.
So now you are literally judge, jury, and executioner.
I'm not Judge Judy and Executioner, but
I am Judge Judy, the executioner.
I'm calling you Judy from now on. You can't stop me.
That might be my backup character. Is the gavel spawns another person as just Judge Judy. She's a paladin.
With a shotgun. That's a really cool fucking hammer, by the way. That's
really
sick
is.
as shit.
Exactly,
Also,
I
I love how you were
appreciate
gonna argue to see if it was like within your god's holy weapon, but isn't your god's holy weapon a warhammer?
It is a hammer, yes.
Yeah, so you're good.
Yeah. Deckle, I appreciate you.
That's what you want this co-passion.
you're gonna have to spend downtime to train for
Listen,
That-
but if you want it, it's yours.
it. I'm not naturally proficient in Kopesh.
That's fair. It's just like curve sword.
I
Sword
know.
with curve.
It's a serve sword with a straight and then a curve and then a curve and then a curve.
Yeah.
Well, actually, according to historical accounts, it's much more similar to that of an axe.
I mean, it is similarly used to an axe.
It is, I'm just being
Yeah.
an old nerd.
This sword is just like me, not perfectly straight, but very beautiful. Here you are.
Yeah, cool. I was thinking about you the other day. Because we hadn't.
That's fucking gross. You shouldn't.
Well, I did. And, yeah,
Calling the cops.
fucking call them. I'll answer my door, which is actually your door. I won't be wearing any pants. I'll be covered in baby oil.
Or door.
Hmm.
So what were you thinking about me for?
I just missed you, bud. Haven't talked to you in a while.
You can message me anytime, friendo.
I know. I just like I've been really busy.
That's fair.
Stockholm syndrome going on in there.
Yeah. No, he's always loved me.
Hmm.
Incorrect. I've played video games with you. I have stopped loving you at some point. It was probably the first time you called me throat goat. That's probably when
no.
the love stopped.
To be fair, you're self-proclaimed now.
Yeah, I mean, I hold the title with pride.
You'll always be the throat god.
Thank you.
You'll never be dethroned. It's fine.
God damn it.
Don't even
I,
trip, Doctor. Okay.
no. You said you'll never be dethroned, and like there was a part of my brain that said, "But I will always be deep throat."
No.
We just beat a boss fight with bad arguments.
That is true.
Yeah, we did.
They're awesome.
I
To be
think the
fair,
one
they
good.
didn't have any arguments either.
It's funny because the one good argument I had actually rolled a natural one for, and I had to.
Right.
That might be my favorite nat one of this campaign, to be completely honest.
We've had a lot of good nat ones though.
Yeah, that one or the save you had whenever I first hit you with the command spell. Yeah, that one's also pretty good, I won't lie.
Now your command spell is going to be a little bit more dangerous because it can be tied to a fucking hammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hobbs tries to like do something suave. You just pull out the hammer behind me.
Just gonna keep it as a gavel. You know how funny it would be, like heavy plate armor, all this badass gear, and literally just have a gavel and like a little hammer ring on my belt. So I'll
Fucking
start talking all
wood
that noise, and then just change it to an earthbreaker, like right in front of him.
I really want you to get like a tower shield, even if you can't wield it, and just have like the biggest shield in the world, heavy plate armor, tiny wooden gavel.
No, the shield is just an enlarged version of the little gavel thing, you know, that you hit. You just earthbreaker that
it's like
shit.
it's a big round, like, yeah. That'd be funny.
So anytime you cast like what is it, the holy aura thing that you do, you just slam them
Slam it.
together.
Yeah.
I said order.
We gotta wait for Curse to get back. We still gotta identify that circlet.
Yeah.
I just got back.
Hey, perfect timing.
We definitely weren't plotting against you this whole time.
No, we would never do that.
Only a little.
Hey, Cursive, I have a question about bullshittery before we identify the circlet.
Mhm.
I'm assuming no, but let me ask anyways, just so I can go ahead and ask. If I threw a gavel at someone, could I then turn it into an earthbreaker?
No.
Mid-air?
Aw, sad.
Okay, carry on. You had to shoot your shot, you know what I'm saying?
Goblin trying to half court that bitch. Okay, now serious question time.
What is the serious question?
I mean, Goblin, didn't you have about like
Oh,
identifying
no,
something?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the circlet?
Give me another spell, or did we do two spellcrafts? Let me look.
No, we didn't.
No.
Give
Oh,
me
sorry.
another spellcraft.
All right.
Well, someone else could do it in the meanwhile, since Hobbs that one did it, or do we not have someone else? who can?
I can.
No, that's good.
Okay, Greer, you recognize that as a circlet of persuasion.
Ooh, those are good. I just walk over to Hobbs, put it on his head.
Yeah, eyebrows raised.
I mean,
Bite you.
yeah, I was gonna say, Deckel's fairly good at that shit too.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, go back to the classic reference that Koala won't get. It's like, this is circular persuasion. It'll make whoever wears it better at, talky stuff. And just go over to the table and place it down there. Fight.
Pulls out Morning Star.
So, what is it?
Pulls out Kopesh. Let's go.
Basically, circular persuasion. If I remember correctly, it gives you a +3 bonus on, like, charisma stuff.
Christmas skills.
So like diplomacy, intimidate, bluff, that kind of thing.
Also, it probably counts as a. Weapon.
Oh yeah, it probably does. Probably gives you
I
mental
believe so,
stats.
yeah.
So actually, it's still probably better for Hobbs. I can get another one. They're not expensive.
Double check its value because I don't know if it's high enough to be that, but it is. Then
Let's
yes.
see, it's
I was actually just looking at this. It is 4,500 GP.
so +2.
I mean, I'd be cool with it, but also I feel like Declan's getting the short end of the stick with magical stuff, and I want to give him something cool.
Yeah, you can always let Declan use it in the meantime, and then trade
Yeah.
him for the Kopesh.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
If you.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I can intimidate people by setting them on fire. You can smooth talk them. My persuasion comes from being like, okay, your skin is currently melting off your body. I can put it out for you if you talk.
Yeah, it's actually really good. +3 to just do general charisma-based checks.
There's a few charisma checks other than skills.
Mm-hmm. Especially for you, because you're playing. You're the other holy caster. I'm sorry, Oracle, right?
Yes.
You are. Yeah. Good for you.
Frozen.
Well, if you ever get tired of it, I'll happily take it off your hands.
I don't know why it's not letting me actually type +3 as in like number sign +3 on the loot sheet, but it's fine.
Okay, I'm sure we'll get another one or we'll make one.
Oh, absolutely.
So, looking back to the overhead map. Remove the player map. Okay. So that removes the courthouse. Which just means the only other thing you're asked to do today. Oh, and then your panic rating goes down by another 2. Which I believe you were at 14.
Guys, we're doing great.
Hmm.
Nothing could stop us now.
Oh,
Had to say it.
I did it on purpose. I mean, honestly, what could possibly go wrong?
Oh, my sweet summer child.
but why?
Giant psycho pomp that crushes us without even looking.
Nah, that would never happen.
I still put you down to 12. So you're still unsafe at night, but the temples have quite a bit of magic. That does mean that, yeah, the reincarnate is available for that one girl when she gets there. So, you guys are doing quite nicely now. Danger rating's still up enough that you are still getting random encounters as you travel, but
Did we have anything else that we knew about?
the gate was your last one that was requested. And you check on the gate since there was a horde of undead pressing on it, and Sabti wanted to make sure that it wasn't at any risk of falling.
Sounds important, yes.
Because, oh yeah, that was also revealed to you guys, the last one for you, Goblin, is that there are quite a few people trapped in the necropolis, somewhere in the vicinity of about 70. Because quite a few people, but they can't really go in there until they go in force, and right now they need the city security before they can do that. I.e., you guys got to get the danger rating down enough that you guys can get in the necropolis and save everyone who's basically surrounded by it, because it's basically hordes in there.
Okay.
It seems like pretty much everything dead rose.
Okay.
Literally, what we do is we get a really tall ladder, and then we just shoot down into the necropolis from the top.
Sign me up.
You just hear Cousin's like, but the piercing weapons work on almost no undead.
Who said we'll be piercing them? Pulls out alchemical fire.
Hey, by the way, are we near like a safety area for these people?
You'd have to take them back to the temple, which would be a thing of travel.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could try to flag down some guards there somewhere around, right?
You can, but keep in mind the chance of that is quite low.
Oh, okay.
Because until the city's safe, they're all pretty much considered engaged.
We
You
could-
can get it, but
We can start escorting them back and try and flag down some guards on the way, And if we don't find any, then we just escort them back. If we do, we can stop and give them to them and then head to the gate.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. The random encounter could just be guards.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So, goblins, since we didn't have you last session, roll me a D100. Guaranteed encounter at this point.
Oh, dear GM, I believe you have some redeems.
I did those ones.
Oh, did you? Okay.
1D100? Okay.
Oh, I did it, but I wasn't mic'd up in Discord because I hadn't. When I said I am back now, because I was talking to chat. Because I thanked you for the hydrate, and I.
Gotcha.
Scared me. I was like, I'm reading a bet. Okay, 23. Our danger rating's only 12, so let's say they had 24. So. Ooh, what? I don't even know what that is.
So I'm finishing out the charting.
Oh, it's good
timer.
when DM says that.
And let me pull out bestiary number 32.
Excuse me, Sherry 4, thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
So Cursive, the description of the judicial hammer has it as the head of this +1 Earthbreaker. Does that mean that this weapon, in any of its form, is a +1 weapon, or?
In any of the forms, it's a +1 and then transformative with specific form. But the transformative itself, you'll find basically has a. As long as you're proficient in one of the 3 forms, you're proficient in all 3 of them while wielding it. So normally transformative can turn to whatever you want. I changed that one to be very specific, so it's always a hammer.
Oh, okay.
There's no added benefit for it being because like everyone's that has simple is proficient in a light one, unless they specifically lost simple weapons, which some classes do. But
There's only have a little.
yep.
Gotcha.
So because it's not a throwing hammer because there's no such thing as throwing hammer. It's a light hammer.
Right, that's what I figured you meant. So I just went ahead and put it as my. I just took my warhammer that was already pre-made, my light hammer, and just put judicial on those, and then
Yeah, that's fine.
went for Earthbreaker.
I mean, I'm kind of sad that we missed the moment of him stepping out of his robes and pulling out the giant Earthbreaker.
Honestly.
Big bonk.
Man, I kind of wish I knew this kind of creature existed before. But all right, so we're gonna start with the perception.
I perceive.
Oh, let me see what my eyes perceive. My skilled eyes.
I do not perceive very well. Actually, I do.
You better than
Okay.
anyone else.
My brand.
My brand.
Dumb question. What does the +1 actually infer in Pathfinder First Ed?
+1 to your attack and damage. So it means the weapon's magical for things that need. I need to find something here. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so Dev and Sarik, as you're approaching the area, you would see that there is some junk on the storefronts on either side that look like they're tied to some posts. It look like it's a designated area that you can see that there's definitely some sort of barbed wire attached to them that seems to be covered on the ground with some dirt. If someone set up a kind of like a barbed wire trap.
Okay. Definitely tell the party. Dev, you're pretty good with devices, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to find seems to be the trigger and reset it so you can pass on through. Well, is there anything else you'd like to do with it?
Can I do well, we already did perceptions.
Yeah, but another one. This one, that was just kind of you walking by. If you want to do another one to look for something,
Yeah, I want to look for someone who laid a trap.
by all means.
Don't know why they'd be around, but why not? About dirty 20.
You don't see anyone around.
You know, I've been playing tabletop long enough to know what vocabularies I don't like from Dungeon Masters.
I literally just saw an image of the one where it had the guy from Rogue One, where it's the I find that answer vague and unconvincing. When the DM says the room seems empty.
Yeah.
The room seems empty. I want to cast Fireball, but I said it seems empty. I know what I fucking said.
There's a story that one of the DMs I played with said where they were in basically Alcatraz trying to hunt a shapeshifter, and they were in like that one famous cell block that's like facing the wall that everyone uses in all the movies, you know?
Mm.
And basically it's like, yeah, and then like it's all dead quiet. There's one cell with a leaky faucet, and that's all you can hear. It's clearly empty. And then one player's like, I'm gonna take my brick of C4, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna prime it, yeah, I'm gonna set it for 5 seconds and toss it into that cell and run. And he's like, what? Like, yeah, fuck that leaky faucet. And apparently that was the shapeshifter. It's like,
I don't really know what to do here because like I'm not convinced that we're alone at all.
It's a meta.
I mean, should we do something about the trap? Because it's like, I want it to be helpful against the undead, but like, you're right, but it's still like.
here, I'll suspicious you all could be in perception. Something is, if you are that unconvinced.
I don't know shit.
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't worry, guys. Hobbs is here to save the day.
And you guys don't see nothing? Okay. I mean, this isn't even like meta as much as it's like there's just a trap. There's just a trap and there's nothing else.
Right. I mean, the city is filled with undead. Someone probably set a trap to like catch some, but it's also a danger to real people.
Oh, but you've disabled it, and so just.
Ah, fair enough.
I mean, yeah, okay.
He's so unconvinced.
He's so much like, but I wanna.
I guess I'll proceed on my
Perform a
way.
detailed search of all nearby building. No.
I guess that's what I'll do.
Listen, go with your classic strategy of seeing with trap testing. Walk into a room, see if you're dead or not.
Char didn't do a perception check.
Char, nat 20's a perception right now.
Char knows everything, but he can't speak to tell us.
I mean, there've been ones where he's growled or refused to go places because he saw shit you guys didn't.
Eh?
Yeah, he got the best one. He still doesn't see anything.
Fair enough.
God damn it! That makes me.
But what if I made a convincing argument to give him a +3 bonus to hit that
For smell.
I mean, he does have scent, but
Okay.
It's not enough
fine.
with it.
It's fine.
You
We're
guys
trying
all
so
are aware
hard.
that it's here, but it's like
We're all
and sure
aware
enough-
that we're about to get our shit fucked in.
No,
yeah,
there's
it's
watch there's legitimately nothing there, but now since we've made such a big deal about it, Cursive's like, you know what? Fuck it, there is something there, and none of you will see it.
all right. So as you guys are moving through cautiously, and you're just so suspect of it, and your fears are proven right, as you'd see some flecks of violet energy that still seem to be lingering, but it's on the objects themselves. As it does, as they seem to suddenly kind of coil around, suddenly the line that Dev cut suddenly relashes on and then snaps the trap to try to trip it on you. I need a reflex from all of you, but none of you are flat-footed since you are well aware of the trap's existence. As it seems that there's some sort of ghost here that has also set up the trap.
Reflex
Bitch-ass
save.
ghost.
My old nemesis. Oh, never mind.
Reflex saves, my old nemesis.
God, I really should spend a hero point. I only have 2, but
Hey, Deck will come here often.
I hate being at 1 hero point.
Char.
Wow,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
Can I say that I crit so hard that I saved Griark?
No, unfortunately not. All right, so let's see. We need a street map here.
I'm at 0 hero points now. I used my last one, so what's the worst that could happen?
At least
I
you
die.
used it for a noble
well.
cause.
Yeah.
So you guys are moving through. It's 20 by 20. You guys
So
would
it's
know
gonna
that.
do fire damage, whatever it is.
Back because it's and the Josh.
Famous
It is not.
fire damage barbed wire.
Yeah, it's right there. That's the field because it's a field of barbed wire.
Oh, no.
So
Hate that.
those of you who passed are still in it. So for every 5 feet you move, you basically take damage, and then those who failed to save are treated as basically moving through a certain percentage. So I'm just gonna roll. So I need everyone to roll me a D100, and we'll see how far through it you were. You guys are coming from the right. So Koala's halfway through, so he's in a good spot.
I'm towards the back.
Okay, so you're nearly through. Deb's nearly through, and Char's right behind you. And Griark, yeah, you're further back. Okay, so that's good for Griark in that case because that means that you move through only 1 square of it. So let's go back up here to figures. So Griark got a regular failure. Takes a D6 points of piercing. And then Char, Hobbs, Char and Hobbs. So both of you take 3.
Ow.
Now, if you continue to move it out of your square, you'll take a D6 for every square you move until you're entirely out of it. Char takes 13, you take 8. And otherwise, behind you, you would see this kind of, I'll show you the picture here, but this one's manifested with purple energy as opposed to the teal the picture has. And you can give me a knowledge religion for it.
Thing is awesome looking. Hell yeah, I'm gonna give you knowledge religion.
It's also tiny size, like the size of a small pixie.
Oh, so you said I took 8 points damage?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Griark news.
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah, Griork, you're the only one who knows. You would recognize that as a gear ghost. They are resistant to channel resistant, and they have a very strong rejuvenation effect. Once they're created, they're very. Let me see if it has a. You would know. They have DR5 against everything, and quite a bit of HP actually, and they have 2 small slams. They can at will detect magic and mending, as well as 3 times a day and make whole. But then at will telekinesis as well. That's their main attack. Otherwise, they have. They're very agile in the air and can fly up and attack and fly away without danger. I.e., they have fly by attack. Otherwise, that once a week they can create a trap without the materials out of pretty much anything they have on hand, even if it's just unworkable stone, they can still make it. And then multiple of them can stack together to make it to no limit. They can make a CR20 trap if you had 10 of these things,
Yikes.
They rejuvenate. To destroy them, you have to pour holy water over its remains while they're within the area of a hollow spell. So in this case, you'd have to take their remains to like the church and then pour holy water on them. And then,
I don't mean to be that guy, but we actually have a thing of holy water in our loot list.
Yep.
But we don't have a hollow effect.
Yeah, you have to bring them back to the church for that. And then to complete the destruction, you have to make sure there are no traps within 100 feet where you destroy them, which it's unlikely there's a trap in the church. Or if there is, you could probably get them to disable it. Because all of them must be disabled or destroyed. Otherwise, its spirit possesses them. And then finally, they can reset traps as move actions, which means they might reset this trap in the midst of combat.
Oh, fun.
So, this is combat, and it's obviously manifested a bit away from you. Yeah, and when these things make layers, you're aware that they generally find some place to make a layer and then make as many of traps as they can, because there's no limit to how many traps they can make. You just can make them once a week. So, eventually they make these death. Go ahead and roll initiative. He's treated as initiating since you were well aware of something being here.
Mouse, please. Mouse, think of the children.
Mouse.
So, you call it a ghost, but it's got remains, so it's not incorporeal?
It's not incorporeal, no.
Gotcha.
You would know that they're basically they're from the soul or the body of a thief that died to a trap. So now they want to pass their death on to others as well.
Gotcha.
In this case, probably a tomb robber.
It's kind of
In
a
the way
badass,
that-
like death story, though.
Yeah. Also means this thing probably came out of the necropolis, most likely. It was just got out because it's obviously tied to objects.
Someone took some cool trap they found.
Alright. Yeah, you're up first. Also, my music stopped.
Oh.
You're feeling that's you two being bitchy.
Also, I want to recenter the view screen a little bit.
Oh.
I think I'm just going to
Thank you.
channel Harm Undead.
Yeah, but if you're doing anything, I can't hear you. I just see you rolling dice.
Oh, I said I was channeling Harm Undead.
Okay. What's your save DC?
16.
Okay. Yeah. See as it burns a bit. These things are usually quite tanky, given their small size.
Fun, fun.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
All right, Griark.
Um,
Need to get free of the. Did you guys see anyone who failed the barbed wire? So, oh yeah, I should mark those. You guys are entangled. And good. Okay, and you can break free with a 4-round action as a strength check or normal escape artist check, so that's move. Or you can remain motionless and then there's no more damage. And then otherwise it's a dexterity check as a 4-round action if you want to avoid the damage.
am I still able to like cast and stuff? I assume not.
You can cast fine. Well, I mean, no, while entangled is a 5+ spell level caster check. Since it's not a.
I gotcha. I would just, I think I'd rather just use a full round action and try and like get out to the square next to me.
Okay. Well, first you have to break free.
Oh, okay. What do I roll?
Strength check or escape artist.
Yeah, I'm so good at both those things, you know.
You do the strength check, it's a 4-round, escape artist is a move. Unfortunately, you're still stuck. And that'll be your turn. Alright, Surik. Goblin? Forget it, who killed him?
Dwarf.
Oh no.
Where's the dwarf?
Was I?
I
The
believe it.
candlestick. Oh, fun side thing. Well, in my last 4 battlegrounds, I've gotten first place.
Nice. My last session that I was in, the thing that I put in Mummy's mask chat, someone put that in my D&D chat, and I was like, "What the fuck does that mean? What does IDCHBTRIICFB mean? Does anyone know?"
No idea.
I don't care how
No.
big the room is. I cast Fireball,
Okay then.
and I was like, "That's like the fucking D&D equivalent of a Rickroll." Like I shouldn't have fallen for that. I should have known.
For anyone who knows Sylvan Orion, there was one where there was a vampire who had kidnapped a member of the party and was doing like a ritual to convert her because was doing it in a more kind of epic kind of scenario kind of thing. The party was rushing to stop him, and at one part a gate opened and there was this horde of undead goblins, and he's just like, I cast fireball in the middle of wherever they all are, and I'm just like, all right. And then I stopped and I went to start rolling it, and then he's like, and I'm like, wait. I actually think he was one. He's like, do we need to roll? And I stopped. I'm like, nope. Even on natural 20s, your minimum damage would kill them all. It's funny. He's like, we don't have time for that shit. Oh, I hear
I
him.
hear a goblin.
Oh, I hear Rose.
Oh no. What just happened?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Let's see. So we're entangled?
You're not.
Ah. Is it difficult terrain?
Not difficult terrain per se. You can either take damage from the barbed wire to just move normally, or you can take a 4-round action to take a dex check to try to move. You have to basically, the dex check determines how far you can move before you take damage.
Do know how much damage it would be?
Uh, basically 1d6 for you to move out of it.
What if I just want to move over to him?
That'll be 2d6.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a swift action to turn my gavel into a earthbreaker. And then I'm going to come over to this little lad and swing it at him.
Okay. Don't forget it's a two-handed weapon, so time and a half strength.
Oh, right. I don't really know how to add that in.
We can figure it out. If you just do a normal attack, we can, as long as you got the damage die set up, because Earthbreakers hit hard.
They do?
I believe they're 3d6.
Just two.
Might be for a large 2d6. Oh, it's 3d6 for a large one.
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah. So you said I take 2d6 damage for moving over to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like here, that's 2d6.
Yes.
You want me to roll
It'll be
those?
2 squares. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
So 5 piercing damage.
That's fine, and then yeah, I'll swing my hammer at him.
Okay. That's a hit. And you definitely feel that he's a bit sturdy, but you do damage.
Okay, and I do not have the 1.5 times damage or damage figured or the
Yeah, I can figure it out from here since it says +3. So your strength is a 2.
my strength is
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My strength is only a +1. I apologize. I'm gonna adjust that right now.
Yes, 3 + 2 is 12. 7 damage. So applied.
Okay.
Anything else? You just switched from Windows Standard. Alright.
Nope, I'm good.
House.
All right, I am currently restrained. So,
Like it.
I know. Shut up! Shh, no one's supposed to know. Well, my strength check, I believe, is hot garbage, so I think it'd be better if I tried to do a, yeah, it's a +1. Yeah, but it's better for me to try to escape artist.
Yeah, it's just a movement action. You can do that and then still do a standard if you fail. You're out.
Woo! Freedom! Then I don't want to move, because moving seems like a terrible idea.
You can cast freely now. You don't have to do a concentration.
Yeah, can I try to just shoot it with a little firebolt?
Yeah.
I don't know how much it's gonna do, but it's worth something. 1 second, gotta get my attacks back up. Where are they at? Probably not gonna hit.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, don't think so. All right, that's everything.
Something funky happened with the turns here. Wait, how did Dev not? Oh, Dev channeled. No, we're good.
Yeah.
Goes on to him. Alright, so he is going to first use a move action as you see the trap itself. Those of you who are in it, you feel it tightening, although not enough to cause more damage. Is a pain effect, but no one's maintaining a spell effect. But otherwise he does seem to reset it, basically trying to catch the rest of you who aren't entangled. So anyone who's still in it after a full round will basically have to resave against it as it re-triggers. Well, if somebody moves. Otherwise, as a standard, you'd see as he starts grabbing up junk, and he's going to hurl it at Sarik. Let me double check. I think it's still an attack roll, and you get a reflex save against it if I remember how telekinesis works. Raid.
Was he my
Yeah.
AC?
I'm double checking because he's going to do what I do. Oh, it's one object per cast level. Okay, so what's his cast? He is. Oh my dear God. All right, so it's gonna be all of you and then one of you who doesn't get one. So just reroll 6 because this is the lucky one. 2. Charred only takes 1 attack, and the rest of you are gonna take 2 attacks. This is his base attack plus his charisma. Man, I hate this thing. Oh, because attacker isn't great. Okay, so these are the 2 at dev. Oh, first he triggers, so you can try to hit him cricks.
Oh yeah. I'll try that.
It's a hit for 4 damage, which means he does have to concentrate. Which he does make. Alright, so each of these is +2. These are devs. 1, 7 gonna hit. But you do still get a save, so I need a reflex. And I don't think a 17 confirms. I believe you're above 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. Yes, he managed to dodge that. That's not how the normal spell works, but his does apparently because he has the DC up. Okay, so that's 1 towards Char then. 21 on Char.
I don't hit.
Because if you're using a weapon, then it doesn't. You don't get a save because it's just an attack roll. All right, so standard damage for a tiny one for him. So it's a D2, no strength bonus or penalty. So it's just a D2. So for 2 damage, 2 at Griark. Not Griark, excuse me, it's Freak. Neither of those are going to hit. I know you're not a 14. At Hobbs, I don't believe you're 16.
No, my AC is lower than that. My AC is a 15.
Oh, okay, so one potential hit. So reflex
Yeah, that'll probably hit me.
for 1 damage. And 2 to Griark. An 18 and a 19.
Well, also my AC is 18.
Okay, so 1 hit. So reflex. Okay, it misses. And that's its turn. Dev. Yeah, it's a cast level 9.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh,
You know what?
actually, I forgot about that. The other one would have hit. Or the other one would have possibly hit because of the negative. Because entangled
Entangled?
hurts your dexterity.
Yeah, I just thought you accounted for that. Okay.
No, I didn't.
I'll give you another reflex. Yeah, keep on, you can add the conditions to your sheets when you have a
Yeah.
condition.
That one hits.
Then it'll change your AC accordingly. For 1 damage. Flinging shit at you.
Rather.
Now, Dev.
I'm gonna wait till after Sari.
Griark.
I'm gonna try and get out of this again.
4 on action strength or a move action escape artist.
Gosh, at this point, my escape artist is a 0, so strength, I guess.
Fortunately, it's not high enough.
Unfortunate.
All right, Sarik.
Okay. Let's see. I want to use it, but I can only do it once per day, so I'm not going to, even though it'd be super cool. Instead, not gonna lie, this new hammer is kind of the tried and true method of I'm gonna hit it with a hammer. So I'm just gonna do that. Actually, just gonna smack it.
Mick.
How about a 12? How about a sweet 12?
Oh, that's gonna miss.
But what if I make an argument that 12 isn't? No, I'm just joking. All right. I don't think I have anything else really to do with my economy. Nope, not that I can think of.
Okay. Dev.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna move over. Try to.
Okay, so for 2d6 damage. 5 points of piercing. Fortunately, that does miss.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hobbs.
I kind of want to not be in this trap anymore if I'm buck fitty with everyone here.
Yeah, and you know it's about to go off again, so if you get out of it, you can move out, take a little bit of damage, and cast a spell.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna step back to like here.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2d6.
9 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's more damage than he deals, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, even if he crit you on both hits, it's only, unless you have like a double or triple crit, it's only gonna be 8.
All right. Then I'm just gonna try to hit him with a firebolt again.
That hits. And yeah, fire goes right through the DR. Yeah, you hit him as you burn out some of the objects that make up his.
Alright, that's something.
Right on to him. First of all, the trap goes off again. That does release you, Griark, but you gotta resave against it. But you're not moving, so it's not gonna deal damage. It just might entangle you guys.
Gotcha.
The only ones who have moved this turn would be Dev. Okay, Devonshire a bit. Sarik.
You already know what I'm about to do. Don't smack him.
Reflex.
No, you got a reflex. It's his turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought it was my turn. I was excited to smack him.
No, I was just asking for a reflex save.
How about a 13?
8.
How about a sweet 13?
Who are now entangled.
So I can't move?
You can't move and you lose some dex.
Oh no, not my worst stat in movement.
Griark, I need a new one from you.
Right. No.
Okay, you're still nothing changed for you. For a second, you're like, I'm free. No, I'm not. All right. And then he is gonna trigger from the two of you. Or actually, no, that spell's already out. Okay, so it would just be a concentration when he gets hit. Which he did get hit. He could lose that from the firebolt. Which he did. He does have to recast. Which he will. So attack of opportunity then.
From both of us?
Yes. Hobbs, you interrupted his.
I got a what?
Your firebolt interrupted his spell because I forgot to roll for his telekinesis.
Woo.
Alright, so that Earthbreaker's gonna hit for 1 damage. He maintains. But you're getting there. However, there's probably a point where you see his little head kind of looks to you, and he actually seems to focus his will on you as you'd see purple energy ensnares your Earthbreaker. He's gonna try to do a steal maneuver.
I just got this.
Or excuse me, a disarm. So this is a plus 12. What's your CMD?
CMB? CMD?
CMD. Your defense.
CMD is 15.
So yeah, he does wrench your Earthbreaker out of your hands, and it hovers and kind of points at you.
That's a problem.
But that's his turn, Griark.
Oh gosh. Considering, what was I like? I tried 18 to get out last time. That still didn't get me out.
Correct.
I think I'm just gonna have to deal with being in here and attempt to do things. In which case, trying to shoot a tiny thing is difficult. I'm going to cast Magic Missile. I'm going to try and
I would
cast
say
Magic
keep in
Missile.
mind, Griark, if you're not going to be moving, spending your move action to do a free escape artist.
Fair
Is it
enough.
natural 20?
Yeah, that's a fair call.
Yeah, so no.
Okay, I need to do a concentration check for the Magic Missile, I believe.
Yep.
I don't think that's...
It'll be 5+ level of the spell.
Oh, I thought it was higher than that. Okay.
No, it's only if someone's... Technically, he does have control of it, but not in that way. If it's like someone with a net and they have like a cord on it, then it's their CMD -5. But if it's just a static one, it's 5 plus the CR of the trap. So in this case, his CR of the trap is a 3, and so it's effectively an 8.
Oh my goodness. For 4 whole damage is the most weak magic missiles ever.
He's just All right, Sarik.
I'm helping.
What do I? All right, so just asking because I might be doing some shenanigans. A couple things. First off, is my Earthbreaker within reach? Like, could I wrench it back if I wanted to?
Yeah, you could do a disarm right back on him.
Okay, not committing to that yet. What are the logistics of me transforming the weapon? Like,
You'd
do
have
I
to have
be
control of it.
touching it.
You have to be wielding it
Okay.
because it's specifically the wielder. The transforms as the wielder, and right now he's the wielder.
Hmm.
Upside is he doesn't threaten because he's tiny, even though he's wielding a large weapon. So the fun thing of that is he can't really hurt you. If you go to try to steal it back, he can't like sock your stomach for trying.
Right. If I were to steal it back or to attempt to steal it back, what would that be? Combat maneuver.
Combat maneuver, and it's a steal check or a disarm check. Excuse me.
I feel like my time might be better spent elsewhere, but then again, he has my really cool new hammer, and I don't like that. I'll try to steal it back. Why not?
Yeah, keep in mind he can use that. You remember those attacks that dealt a D2? He can now use that Earthbreaker with its full damage. So like stealing that back means otherwise he'll just telekinesis the hammer through all of you.
That's fair. I'm gonna get my hammer back.
Well, technically it's one object per, so each round someone will be taking an Earthbreaker.
So it'd be CMB.
Yes. He's a tiny creature, so his CMD is probably not huge.
19.
Yeah, you steal it right back. Like, you little bastard.
That was a standard action, I presume.
Yes.
Okay. Just in case, do I want to swap it down to a Warhammer? Be a 1d8 instead of a 2d6. Actually, you know what? Because I can't attack him with it this turn, I'm going to spend a swift action to turn it into a light hammer, just back into a little gavel.
Yeah, because you can turn it back next turn.
So let's
That's
just turn it
clever,
back into a
actually.
little gavel. And then, yeah, that's my turn.
I love that so much. Because I was totally gonna steal back. He's like, you fail, I'm gonna hit you with it. It's so much more damage.
It really is.
It's a real weapon, so you can't dodge it. Oh, Dev.
Little fucker is going to get a cure moderate wounds.
Ooh. Yeah, he can't threaten, so it doesn't matter. You can cast right next to him. Well, I need a melee touch attack still.
That's right.
If you miss, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. Yeah, his touch is higher than that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
As
figured.
he sees the little holy magic on your hand, as he starts dodging away from it. But you still have it, so
Hey, somebody's getting this healing.
that puts us to Hobbs then.
All right, I'm just gonna shoot him with a firebolt. Because I don't know what else I can do. I can shocking grasp the metal net. I'm sure that'll be great for everyone involved.
Right?
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Pew. Nope.
It whizzes dangerously close next to Char's ear.
It's alright.
Luckily, HR would be unaffected.
Oh, that's good.
Alright, so first he is gonna go for... He doesn't want to risk touching you, so he's not gonna do that. But... yeah, he's actually gonna flee away. But first, telekinesis, I suppose. Definitely Dev, you're getting 2 because he wants to hit you with 2, but there's 4 of you in it now. For 9 attacks. Oh, one of you's getting 3, so yeah, Dev, you're gonna get 3. Because he's like, holy energy. Miss. Char. You said Char's an 18?
Ours is 16.
16, okay, so hit. So it's still objects right now. So you get the reflex.
I'll be right back.
He dodges. 2 at Tariq. Oh yeah, this is the same spell because he hasn't lost it yet. Miss. And 2 at Griark. 17. What is your AC right now? You said you were an 18, so you're down by 2.
16.
Okay. So he does hit 1, so reflex. Hit. For 1 damage. He's going to trigger from actually Q2 and Char, as he's going to try to move over to the other corner.
Okay, I'd like to channel Smite on this reflex. Oh wait, no, I don't think I can do
Attack
that.
map, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I apologize.
That's a hit. And you already rolled the damage for it. Cool.
I'd swapped it into a light hammer.
So 13. Positive energy hits him. He does get a will save. What's your save DC for that?
Let me see. 17.
Okay, he does fail. Full damage. So applied. So Char also gets a bite. No damage, but he can get a trip. Which trip he does. Actually, that'll end him right next in between all three of you.
Hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
Griark.
Just gonna try and disrupt undead on him.
Good call.
No, wait, first move action and try and get out. Didn't think so. All right. I don't know if you need concentration for cantrips, but
Yeah, you do. That still will be very easy.
and that's definitely gonna be too low to hit him.
Yeah. Alright, Sarik.
Okay, I know I've asked you this probably about 9 million times, right? But just remind me. In Pathfinder, you really can't swap like movement for a swift, right?
No.
Okay. Well,
What are you hoping to do?
I was gonna use a swift to change my Warhammer back to the size of an Earthbreaker, and then use, if I could swap my movement for a swift, I was going to do that to channel smite. But
Yeah, unfortunately not.
It's not possible. That's okay. I will actually use a swift to turn it back into an Earthbreaker, though. Loving this hammer. And then now it's an Earthbreaker. He's on the ground right in front of me, right? I mean, there's
Correct.
no reason I shouldn't swing for the fences.
Yeah, so he's easier to hit right now.
Truly a terrible roll. It's fine.
But that one will actually hit with him being prone.
Nice. 11, and there's still the +2 from...
You also have flank. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, nice.
so you have a +6 right now.
Then yeah, that's it. That's all for me.
Okay, I didn't know if you were... Okay, so Dev.
Effective before, so cure moderate wounds.
Hit. The failure on the will save. He goes inert.
Perfect.
Which will bring you out of combat. And you can
Yes,
take 20 on getting out.
yeah.
Yeah, you're just like stuck.
Disable device still?
You can disable the device to ruin the trap this time and it'll stay down. Otherwise, you could take 20 on getting Griark out, and at this point, you guys can get out. That actually isn't enough to disable it. Enough to trigger it. Not that it's reset. Honestly, right now, it's already sprung. So there's nothing really... I mean, this is just disabling it, like destroying it. So honestly, you don't really need a roll, Dev.
Okay, just smash it.
Yeah, I can see you guys could easily just smash it up. Then carefully untangle Sarik and Griark.
Yeah.
And you do have a body of a deer ghost.
We gotta take the thing to the temple to get rid of it for good, so I guess we're heading all the way there after all.
Do another one of those cures.
Feast and famine right there. Charger kind of growls at the body of the gear ghost.
I know.
Well, you guys handled that well.
leading the people back to the temple.
Yeah, you guys can also get healing at the temple. Since they have this spellcasting and anything, they're level 3 that doesn't require a major component, they'll give you for free, so that would include. I was going to use this for your location.
Some of us need it.
Yeah, I think Hobbs has some damage on him too.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Elf.
My feet are filled with holes.
I could channel energy real quick.
You could, but that's using one of your resources when you have free ones at the temple.
Oh, right.
You want to do that?
No. Hobbs' feet will be fine.
You just have to give me a piggyback until we get there.
Literally half your size.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
And
Is yellow more
literally
visible?
Half your weight.
Yellow is not visible at all. And
Do not forget, Hobbs is a twink.
Comes on to back. Onward.
what do you guys think for marking party position?
Don't know.
Actually, purple's better. It's closer to indigo.
Indigo.
There you go.
Mongeese.
So upon arriving back, you can see Sabti is on a bit of a warpath, as it looks like she has a couple of the guards there. She's just kind of berating them. One of the other acolytes comes up and is just like, "Why did you bring in the refugees?" Are you alright?
Could use some healing.
Ran into a gear ghost with a very effective barbed wire trap.
RP when I was picking the trap, I was like, maybe barbed wire would be interesting. Man, that was way better. The choice I anticipated. But yeah, they will administer healing to get all of you up to full health, even leaving you a virtue, even though it only lasts a minute. But
I do want to have this, like... I do want to have just, like... Where I see Sabti, like, giving them a tongue lash, and just, like, have them go up there, like, cross their arms, like, just nod, like, as Sabti's, like, saying shit. Just silently supporting her.
stink eyeing them.
I'm
You
gonna ran
bastards.
over.
What you don't know is that 4d100 is actually, that's how much like both of the guards took for psychic damage.
Ego damage.
Yeah, I would say you definitely seeing a different side of Sapti though. It's like where she's been very nice and very calm with you and very like serene, but this is just no, she's angry.
Just thrashing some guards.
Me next.
Alright. Let me remove the counter armor. But if there's anything else you need to talk with them at the temple, you may. Otherwise, you could probably look around for the elf if you want. There's quite a few people here. If you have the holy water, you could get the gear ghost destroyed. Because holy water right now is a bit of a commodity, so they're still charging for it.
Yeah, I'll do that, actually.
Okay, make sure to mark down that you're using it. I'm sure, I mean, even the acolytes will point out that I'm sure Sabzi would happily replace it afterwards if it's just right now. It's one thing to give the casting through the acolytes, but material things are needed.
Right. It's no worries. So, yeah. we had 2 things of holy water, by the way, so let's use one.
Self-made attack.
Oh yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, there's a bit of a standout that probably stands out to you guys, given your origins from Haven. But as you'd see that there looks to be another prime kobold in here that you don't recognize, but you realize that it's over, and it looks like you would spot the elf in question kind of tending to them, as it looks like they're wearing very simplistic robes that you realize are probably just given from the church. They did end up rolling half dragon with those rolls.
Clear you.
No, can't say they do.
They went?
Did I
You
get
fade it out.
go over and say hello?
No? Let me get back to everything real local. So Hosep and Bentu. Yeah? Hosep seeing you would stand up to go over and kind of clasp her hand and gesture back, and as she looks for Bentu, you may not, you wouldn't remember, but these ones helped out to make sure that the locals didn't, and he just kind of just lynched the 2 of us. Not that that was really, I assure you that wasn't me, dear. I have no memory of such. But I suppose thanks are in order to you lot.
No problem.
She laughs, and he was human before.
Grades?
I suppose I may have to, after all this is said and done, I may have to find you to ask precisely what all this entails. Kind of.
I mean, they probably have like a breath attack now, so that's cool. I mean, honestly, it's our race is kind of like just a weird genetic mix of all sorts of things that can happen. So for all anybody knows, they could have an incredibly long lifespan now, or they could breathe, fire or ice, or also
You could see crackles of electricity.
Electricity. They're probably resistant to electricity as well. It's like there's a lot of different stuff, so you're gonna pretty much have to experiment and maybe do some like divinations.
Interesting, as he kind of smirks over at South Seven. She just kind of gingerly cradles, but seems to kind of also be wary of the spiked.
It'll take some getting used to, I'm sure, but
Say the
there's
least.
definitely upsides that I probably shouldn't discuss, in the temple of holy people. That's not a Glistering temple.
He just kind of clears his throat a bit.
Anyways, it's good to see that you're not a zombie anymore.
Yes, I would rather not have that as a, even if it is just my body or not. But I definitely felt something, though. I was just telling her I was seeing the grand line to the afterlife, the river to the great beyond, and then suddenly I was just suffused as if something was pulling me back. Some of the other acolytes were questioning me on it, as they were worried that maybe due to others, anyone who hasn't made the great journey. For those of you know, for as far as Osirians, they have more of a close to Egyptian lore with the where basically your undeath doesn't begin until you complete your journey, which a lot of them go to Pharoah, but others try to find their own way there.
It's hard to say.
Hosep stands and kind of brushes herself off a bit and just I do have some things from my girls came with a bunch of things from the office. Since she and her boyfriend were actually intending to leave, and then ended up getting directed here. But taking what was mine from some, I thought I would give to you.
Certainly appreciate it.
Into which she pulls out, and it's kind of a smattering of things, but you would see as there is a potion, which she tapped at the cork of it and said, "This is a cure moderate wounds." 2 scrolls with levitate on them. This scroll has a ray of exhaustion, not terribly useful against the undead. Nor would this one really be, I think. This is silent image. And then this is just some of my savings. I'm keeping enough so we can either rebuild here or get to the next town if it doesn't seem rebuildable. But otherwise here, she puts down 40 platinum pieces.
Ooh.
You were gentle where you didn't have to be, so it's only right.
Well, certainly appreciate it. We're probably going to be heading out again soon to deal with more problems, so some of these things might be, helpful.
I'm glad then.
It'll switch channel.
Mm-hmm. Something you're looking for.
I mean, I didn't. Subty seems to be busy right now, so best not to bother her.
Yeah, I think we have more things to get done around the city. Thank you for your aid. Don't really know what to do with this holy water slurry, but have fun.
I mean, if you poured the holy water on the gear ghosts, it would just melt away to nothing, and then they would just clear up the floor. I imagine they actually have a chamber that's specifically for purification rituals, which would also work for that, I would say.
Holy water cleanup area.
All right. So, going to the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
All right. Go ahead and we'll say, Deco, give me a D100.
But a solid 2.
Nice. This where we actually see the guards. So you're at 14, no, 12, 26.
We run into a demi-lich. Roll for initiative.
That's on the list. No, I would have laughed. But, I mean, it would be the first time I've seen something obscene. I think Second Darkness had a CR 13, book 2. Second Darkness only goes to level 13 now in book 6, so you don't get a whole lot of levels.
That's a runaway fight.
Well, I have another street. Might just use the same one. As you guys are moving out, and this one can exist in the daylight, so. I'm sorry. Oh, I typed it wrong. I was like, why can't I find this? Okay, so as you guys are walking past the shop, you guys start hearing a clanking noise from one of them that the shop was just kind of hanging open and looking decrepit. But it sounds like somebody in heavy armor is coming after you. As they round outside of the shop, you'd see what looks like a suit of armor, except there's nobody inside of it other than a pinkish violet glow. But you guys will have initiative on it.
Oh gosh, even armor's attacking us now.
It seems to have a longsword with it. Kind of theater of the mind because it's only one creature, and I have a feeling you guys might crush it if you beat it on initiative.
Joke's on you. I'm a cleric. My initiative rolls are garbage. Never mind, I got a 15. It's pretty good.
No, I'm just gonna use the quill for it. I was gonna go find an undead token, then I realized, oh wait, I don't have a token for this thing. Animated armor doesn't really. Alright, so we got an 11, so yeah, you guys have a lot of initiative on it. If you want, I can give you a knowledge religion.
Yeah.
Okay. Between Dev and Gririk, you would know that, yeah, these things have an okay amount of HP, not as much as a gear ghost. They're kind of resistant to channel, otherwise they don't have other resistances like some undead, like the cold can affect them. And generally all they have is their weapon and their higher AC. But their touch is shit. They tend to hit hard if they do hit. And that one does have what looks like a good sword. Alright. So you got you in order. So Dev, you're first.
Alrighty. The channel. They can be hit.
Yeah, they can be hit. They're armor. Corporeal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fortunately, that hit clangs off its armor.
Fair enough. I'm not gonna have charge right 8 bite him.
Okay. Sarik.
Well, most of my spells are meant for things that are not mindless. Not saying this thing is, but you know. It's a
Wait, I miss you. Yes, there's music playing.
I'm going to. I think I already had it in the form of a. It's fine. I'm gonna swift action, turn my judicial hammer back into an earthbreaker, and swing. How about 18?
Fortunately, he's able to catch that in his. We'll assume, like, even if you moved into flanking, but even with that, he seems to just kind of catch it a bit with his arm and doesn't seem to damage him. I.e., miss.
Ah, well. That's it for me.
Reark.
I'm just gonna throw it disrupt undead at him.
That'll hit. Damn, nice hit. Yeah, you see as he kind of jolts a bit and seems to flicker, and then but it's still up. Hobbs.
I literally have the perfect spell for this, but I need to know how to do this properly because I will probably get bonked. So
What are you
shocking,
doing?
Shocking grasp.
Okay.
Can I cast it before I get within melee range, walk
Yeah.
within melee range, and then touch
As
him?
part of your movement up, you can move up, cast, and touch him.
Lovely, because I know that if I cast within 5 feet, I get bonked.
Generally, the way it works in game terms is you ready an action, you cast the spell and ready to discharge it once you're in melee, and then you walk forward and then discharge it.
All right, I do that, but with shocking grasp.
Yep. Give me a melee touch.
Yeah.
It only matters for the cast if you're already next to him.
Nah, shit. Wait. If it means anything, it's a +3 to attack because he's wearing metal armor. Smiley face.
Yep. So that's gonna hit.
Cool. 4 lightning damage.
Oh, I didn't realize I already rolled it. Okay, yep. So applied. He's still up, but yeah, he seems to be kind of flickering in and out.
Yeah.
Rearc's not close enough. Yeah, he goes to swing that sword at you as the sword itself seems to be glowing.
This is fine.
Let's see how much he has. Normally he adds 5, so in this case he had 6. So 18.
It's absolutely gonna hit.
Sword, not a. Normally they use long swords. D6. So for 9 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to melee range.
But that's his turn. Kev.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll try again. Heck.
It's gonna be a 19. Which is still gonna miss.
Indeed.
Sreek.
Just gonna channel energy.
The harm.
It's what, 2d6 on my level? 3d6? Sadi.
B2.
You should be sorry.
Yeah, I'm at 2d6. So.
Gonna roll damage first. Might not matter. Yep, it's not gonna matter because you're dealing 3 damage and he has 13 hit points and you guys have dealt 10.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the energy stops, the armor just clatters to the ground. Easily dispatched.
clearly somebody wears armor.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing bad could happen. Sword look like it's magical at all, or is that just effective hit the undead?
The armor itself is magical. Magical. The sword is magical.
Wow. Should we identify this now or keep moving?
I mean, I can do a spellcraft on it to see if I can get something off of it.
Even you can do that while walk. It's just that person then is treated as flat-footed in the case of an attack.
Gotcha.
Nah, it's fine. I don't need my armor class. Let's walk and talk. What could
Okay.
possibly go wrong? Spellcraft. First, did you say both the sword and the armor are magical?
No, just a sword.
Yeah. Cool.
You actually can't quite identify it. Its cast level seems fairly potent.
It's a very powerful arcane weapon of extreme destruction.
As you're holding it, though, you do feel one effect that's passive, as it seems that whenever you guys are passing near any of the undead, it seems that its glow, as you're holding it and identifying it, its glow seems to intensify when you're closer to danger, as if the sword itself is giving you not quite an empathy. You can tell it's not intelligent, but it seems like the enchantment is made to impart a near intelligence.
Oh.
Hmm. What kind of armor was it?
Plate,
So what?
plate, full plate.
Okay.
So that's pretty penny by itself.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you guys get to the gate. Typing furious.
I'm sorry. I was just updating our stuff.
No, you're fine. I'm just giving you shit.
So we're at the we're at the gate. We're at the gate. Which
You
one
are
are
at the
you?
gate. Well, let me get to the narration. So, see that the doors are still there, as the sturdy doors of iron and bronze standing in the high sandstone wall that you've seen a few times. There's barred windows in the gates offering glimpses of what lies beyond, which is currently just quite a few undead that are all extending their hands beyond, as you can see as there's some guards that are standing, some wearing some other heavy studded armor with large shields emblazoned with the Pharoah's spiral. Oh god, hiccups. Zach, let me get a drink.
Alrighty.
Hiccups plus the voice as it is. Gatorade. But you can see the one in command here doesn't seem to be one of the ones dressed as a guard. The one in heavier armor that you spot actually seems to be one of the acolytes. You've seen her in the temple, but you haven't spoken with her. But otherwise, shorter, black hair, and then pendant, rather stern countenance. But yeah, as you glance through the windows, you can see nearly 100 skeletons, zombies, ghouls, all gathered beyond the gate. Seems like the ones trying are being repulsed by a thin limning of positive energy that's holding them back. Seems like they can't actually even damage the gate. You could probably go talk to the acolyte if you want.
I have an idea. We dangle Sarik above them, and then they channel energy.
You know, it's not the worst idea I've heard. We do still have a camel. It does still have a pulley system. I suppose I will actually go and talk to a lady then.
Yeah, we should.
Yes, seeing your approach, you see as she gives a. Even as soon as she looks over and makes eye contact and gives a nod for motioning to some of the soldiers to watch the gate as she steps over towards you. I recognize you from the days of the Pestered Sun. Among the Indigo Mongeese.
Monkey.
Is there something I can help you with? The gate's well and secured.
We're going in there, right?
Sorry, what?
Isn't that our whole plan? Is to go in there?
You can go in there with some guards to help you hold back, because there's literally hundreds of higher level undead that you can even see right now. Like, just the fact that there's over 5 ghouls means that it's like 2 ghouls would probably overpower the party, knowing what you know of undead and your own abilities and out of character. So it's like the fact that you can see about 20 of them through the window is like, you would definitely need the army on your side.
Yeah, we're supposed to like check up on things and see if there's anything you could do to help.
Are you guys all good here? You need any refreshments or?
Well, if you're offering, actually. First of all, she goes to put her mace down and goes off for a hand. She's like, my name is Acolyte Balthem.
I'm Sarik, and these are my companions, Griarg, Dev, and Hobbs.
Hello.
Char.
Good to meet you.
And Char, excuse me.
And Verloaz.
And Verloaz. Also this, and I pull out a tiny man in a vial.
Why do you still have him?
Otherwise, just chirps, and she sees her smile. She's like, you're being escorted by a messenger. Wonderful. Well, if that's the case, I actually have one for you if you wouldn't mind taking it back to the Grand Mausoleum. It's
Very tiny man.
It's just a simple letter to Sabti the crocodile. If she would send extra holy water and Pharasman holy symbols, we need to shore up the walls themselves. Because the gates are rewarded, but the walls are less so.
Sure.
Yeah, so she just holds out a sealed letter. However, give me perceptions.
She's looking at my hot ass 13 strength. Where's my perception at?
Also ask her to, wow, look at you, man. Yeah, she's kind of going on as you're looking about, and in this case, Sarik, you'll see something in one here. She's like, and also, if she can send reinforcements. We haven't lost a single soul to any of the undead, yet over half my men have now abandoned their posts, so I do need reinforcements. Just because looking at that horde, they're convinced they're going to break free. However, as she's speaking in that last part, Sarik, you can spot that, number one, a couple of guards suddenly drop their spears and start running away, but you see what they see is it looks like a rather sinister looking shadow passes through the wall and into the building that you took cover in the Festered Sun, and seems to be coming directly and passing through the walls as it's kind of beelining for Balthem.
Can I channel smite and throw a light hammer at it?
Yeah, at this point, you guys are basically going to combat. She's just she's deigned as unaware.
Right.
Let me
I will channel smite and throw a light hammer at it.
Yeah, that could be you initiating. Let me get to them. I think there's a map for this one. Let me double check. It would be on the others. Oh, nope, I guess. Well, that'll work for it. We're not using the corpse wagon one. Just say it's a little bit away from the gate. YouTube, I know you stopped my music. You jerk.
What's up, guys? Where's everybody?
No, there's a map for that thing we abandoned.
Okay. Oh wait, there's two of me.
Alright, so we'll put her on here.
All right. That's
Oh god, those are all moderns. You guys want to position near her there? Yes, it's the thing you abandoned. It's coming through a nearby building, so we'll stay there. Arrow center. There we go. Now we just need Sleek. You can feel free to move yourself wherever you like in regard to conversation with her. And since you guys saw it, Sarika is initiating, and the rest of you will roll initiatives.
In relation to her.
Stream just seeing black.
Sorry, what?
Stream's just seeing black.
Oh, thank you. Alright. Oh, sir, you didn't need to roll. You're initiating.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I remove it?
You're fine. I'll just leave you on the top regardless.
Let's see.
Well, on the bottom, just have you start. Alright, and then Ball does roll. Of course, she rolls like. It adds 3, so it's 20. And she has a. Okay, break.
So like I said, I was gonna do a channel smite and throw one of my light hammers at it. So.
Okay. Did you want to knowledge religion before anything?
Sure. Yeah, that's probably a good idea to make sure it's actually worth burning a thing on. Let's see, knowledge religion. 25.
So you can recognize that not only as a shade, or precisely a shadow, but that is a stronger than normal shadow. You'd be able to recognize it as basically the advanced template, which a lot of the NPCs already have that usually with house rules. So this thing's quite strong. You would know that shadows actually deal damage in the form of strength, and if the strength ever hits 0, you become one.
Wow.
So it's very, very dangerous. They're incorporeal, like you've seen. It's passing through buildings, but your channel smite should hit it just fine.
Yeah, this also lets me use some of my other really cool shit for my specific cleric stuff. Anyways, yeah, so channel smite and then throw a light hammer. So if it hits, it'll be an additional 2d6.
Shadows are stronger than shades because they don't lose their power in sunlight, but they just can't stealth well in it. That'll hit.
Awesome.
That roll smite as well.
Yep.
It's a magical hammer.
So 11, is it a form of undead?
Yes.
Perfect. So yeah.
Plus 1 damage then from your
Yep.
your thingy. Then if it's okay, just calculating HP.
And I would also like to relay the information that I know about this thing to the party. But that's about it. Well, because did I use a swift? No, would that? Well, no, I guess channel smite is a swift action, so yeah, that would have been that economy. Okay. Yep, that's gonna be it for me.
Okay. Which you did roll well on its initiative, so even though you just hit it, it is going to move up to the point that it's threatening you, but it does reach over and tries to grab her. So it's going to go for incorporeal touch with a charge, which does affect its AC. Man, good thing it's not a greater one. Greater ones have improved critical. You can double the damage, so no save. She takes 4 strength damage out of her 10. So she sees her veins blacken, and it seems like her body just seems to take on an abundance of necromantic energy, and she just kind of gasps as she realizes what is grabbing her. That's its turn. Riark.
This thing sounds like it's probably incorporeal, so I'm going to spend a swift action to put Ghost Touch on my weapon, burning a spell slot. And then I'm going to shoot at it. I'm going to shoot very good, apparently.
Oh! Musket is what, times 2? Or is it times 4?
It is crit mult times 4, yeah.
So 40 damage, alright, well, Griork, how do you want to splatter it?
The Kirk just like, oh wait, sorry, there's a shade behind you. Just like fires. I think I got it.
Oh yeah, it's just gone.
Hob shits himself.
That would have killed almost anything you fought so far.
Yeah, that was a good series of rolls.
Yeah, honestly, fair if you shit yourself on that one. Like,
Honestly, I didn't even look at what gun you fired, but when I heard you did 40 damage, I was like, did you fire the shotgun? Was that the shotgun?
It's just like I hit other people in the path.
Yeah,
firearms no joke.
Yeah, she's raising her shield and getting sent, and just like as it just splatters back into nothing, and the light burns it away, and she's just. Oh, I see why Sabti speaks so highly of you, lot.
Our best.
Yeah, we try. I like Sapti. She reminds me of people I know.
If you could, that letter is still. She just kind of. I should actually be able to. Wait.
I was just going to turn the fertilizer. See, sometimes guns are good against undead.
Vertilize just nods and kind of bounces on your shoulder. Okay, so first of all, though, she does reach out. She's like, you know what? I have a couple of these, and I think this might be better use for you. And she pulls out a wand and holds it out for you.
Oh.
Fully charged. Like I said, we have a couple of these.
What does it do?
You're moderate.
Oh, that is super useful. Thank you.
How many charges?
That's 50.
Nice.
50. If you bring back the supplies, I will have more for you. Some of the shopkeepers have been donating. I mean, we've been using most of the supplies, but some are donating money, which is less useful right now.
Money buys supplies, but at the rate that things are going for, not as many as it used to.
Right, and when things get really bad, and now I'm alone, so I'll still hold this point. She does cast Lesser Restoration on herself twice to heal the damage.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Oh no. I mean, in rapid succession with it bearing down on me, I would have been doomed to a life as a shade, apparently, so thank you for that.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't think it would have taken anybody. I can just touch everybody's weapon and make them touch incorporeal creatures.
I'm saying if you weren't here, I would have been doomed.
Oh yeah, that would have been a bad time for sure.
Because obviously she gestures to the fallen spears. At this point, you realize that yes, literally everyone has abandoned this gate, so it's only this girl now.
We'll try and hurry back with supplies and hopefully more people. I believe I saw Sabti yelling at a couple of guards. I'm sure she'd be more than willing to assign them to the gate.
Got a feeling I know what she was yelling about.
Yeah, I do too.
You do something in about 10 minutes time as you talk and take the letter and double check everything as she's making sure she's all right. You would see a couple of young kids coming over this way that have some, not super young, we're talking like teenagers, but that are coming over armed with some swords, and some have some kind of improvised like spiked bats, effectively, as it looks like they're basically, and with some undead gore on them. As you'd recognize, it looks like some of the looters that you guys pushed off. They would inform you that they saw some of the guards running and leaving, and they thought they'd come towards where the guards were running from to see if anyone needed help.
Well, congratulations, you're braver than trained guards.
Can I sense motive to make sure it's what they're actually up to, since they're looters?
Yeah. You feel confident these ones. I mean, it's not all 8 of the ones that you guys had driven off. It's about 4 of them, but yeah, you can see that these ones do seem to be erstwhile and like they're worried, especially given that they immediately ask, "Is the gate okay?" Which she's like, "Yeah, the gate itself is fine, but some incorporeal undead are seeping through the cracks, so we're gonna have to watch them until they can bring stuff so I can consecrate the wall."
How much holy water would you need? Well, you probably need a lot, actually.
If you ask her for a crate, that'll be enough.
Okay.
And then, I mean, for the entirety of the wall, I'll probably need 16 holy symbols, preferably made of silver, or wood will work. Whatever she has.
Does it specifically have to be Pharasman holy symbols?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I could try using some of the old gods, but for now I'll stick with the Pharasman ones and see if I can shore it up with some of the Osirian gods. Alright. But good job with that one, and yeah, nice powerful wand for you.
Everybody knows, in case we come across something else incorporeal, just let me touch your weapon for a moment and it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Also, rescuing her reduces the panic level by 1 immediately, and most likely if you bring some supplies, you'll reduce it by another, which brings you down to 11 for now. It'll take you 2 trips back and then back here to get the supplies. Otherwise, those former looters take up some of the fallen arms as she starts going into one of the buildings and pulling out some armor for them. Pointing out that, yeah, against the incorporeal this will do nothing, but against the corporeal undead, if the gate does fall, this will protect you better than what you're wearing. Did you want to go back to the temple then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you again for your help.
Should be back soon.
That's her name.
Yes, Bal them. BAL and then space THEMM. Oh, Golden! I didn't even see him highlight. God damn it, I need to figure out a better way to put chat. Just Golden a while ago.
Hey, Gabriel.
Gabriel. As you guys are going back, so first of all, you guys. Oh, both of my screens are blank. 1 second, let me. Sarik, you'd suddenly hear a voice in your head that you would recognize as Teneneb. Not that out of character you met him, but in character you did. But given that you're with Magrim, I would imagine he would probably pick you as you'd hear his voice and realize that he's using magic to contact you. As he would tell you that if you can get to the Grand Mausoleum, Sebti has summoned Noct, and their arguing is very likely about to form a rift in the faithful, and we can't afford that. And you would be aware, because of the nature of the spell, that you have 20 words to respond with.
Said where the Grand Mausoleum?
Yeah, that's the temple that you've been going to.
Okay. I will tell the group and head that way.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll relay that to the group, obviously.
So, I need one more roll still. Koala, if you give me D100 for... You guys are down to level 11, so it's 22 on top of what you roll. Ooh, another big one. Potentially. There are guards above 100, so... Well, psychopomps. And it is still daylight, so... Got that going for you. And... Roland's rolling on B-Shares. I saw they have a Bandersnatch. Have to go look up that sometime. I just did that Netflix game again. That was curious, you know? Oh. So this one actually is pretty much a non-encounter for it, but you guys would spot a rather impressive looking thing is you'd see these massive, not quite large, but on the large size of medium. They look like animal-headed warriors, each of them muscular in their own repairs. You'd spot one that seems to be jackal-headed, one that seems to be owl-headed, and one that seems to be cat-headed. It looks like they're slaying undead. Knowledge Arcana could assist you in this regard. And Knowledge Religion. Okay, so the religion ones you guys can all recognize, given your experience with them recently, and actually with Hobbs, you would, even if you hadn't been in the necropolis recently, you'd recognize the three of them. That is one representative of Anubis, of Bastet, and of Horus. And Griark, you can recognize that those are golems by the name of Graven Guardians. Basically, constructs that are infused with the will of and like basically the domains of gods. So in these cases, seem to be ones related to basically a couple of the good Osirian gods. You've seen a lot of them in the necropolis. These ones probably somehow made it out, which it's not unheard of since a lot of them can either fly, climb, or even just teleport. But the like the Horus one would definitely be able to fly, and they're strong enough to carry each other.
Are they a danger to people?
They could be based on their god, but with these ones, you guys would know that the only one that would be a potential danger could be the Anubis one if you were seen as someone that was particularly heinous, but not like they're generally, these ones would all be fairly good aligned.
Right, I'll hide from the Anubis one.
Otherwise, you're also aware that you are aware that if you have anything that bears iconography of the god in a good light, that's basically not a defaced holy symbol or even just holy text or proper garb, they cannot attack you.
Gotcha.
Which, given that
everything to the group.
they don't seem to be paying much attention to you lot anyways, because they actually seem to be working kind of like the Asabox, but less sloppily, as they're moving around with great care.
I don't think they're a problem.
Almost
I mean,
wish I'd, like direct them back to the Pharasmans so they could, use them against the undead.
I mean, we could. They probably have some degree of intelligence. We could always maybe ask them.
Generally, it's I would say the interesting thing, because you did roll fairly well, Griark, on your Arcana for them, is that generally they don't have a set intelligence. They follow direct orders, which means that somebody gave them an order. It could be maybe someone from, like, you guys did meet the Osirian cult, so maybe they went in there and told the Osirian one, but that means also that a Horus cult and a Bastet cult somehow found these and sent them out to go help. Otherwise, there is a chance that they could also, since it's been known, and even Sabti said that they know that the old gods of Osirian are still about and still doing their thing. They're just being quiet. So it could be that if those gods, because usually Graven Guardians have direct lines to their gods, so it's basically those gods could be like, yeah, go help. So you won't be able to command them, but you could potentially, if they are getting a direct line to their god, then that means that the god would hear you, and potentially, if they basically it would show you, if they obeyed, it would show something's behind their head.
Gotcha.
Something else would have had to tell them to stop hunting out here, but you could tell them to go, like, shore up the gates if you wanted.
I mean, probably falls to somebody a little more persuasive than me.
Lords, the dead are understand. Or
Probably as the Anubis one kind of pauses and
Suck.
um.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna kill you.
No. And even then, you rolled quite high, so I mean, they kind of look between each other, and you'd see as the Anubis one looks back to the horse, you'd see as the Bastet one points back in the direction of the gate with her Kopesh, and the other ones, the horse one kind of actually gives a bit of a nod and then goes that direction as the other three, or the other two follow. But yeah, they don't say goodbye, or they just start trudging that way.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
You just see her really wants to like, and that's why the Grave Lady likes the old gods. They do what you need to do. There's never any bickering.
Never.
Never really, no. Even the ones that like each other don't usually bicker. You might have a duel. You don't get the arguing that you see in. There's a lot of arguing now.
I can appreciate that.
All right. Let me get back. I had to look up because I didn't know what the term Graven Guardian. I was like, I'm pretty sure I did actually end up knowing what they were, but in my head I was like, if that's some sort of bad undead, this could be a bad encounter. So I was like, let's look up. So yeah, UTS Tenenib is waiting on the stairs to come down to you as seems like the guards have this area in the center more guarded. But looking to you, he would just it's getting nasty in there. The voice of the Spire brought a bunch of his men, and they're even Sabti is getting a bit less diplomatic than she probably needs to be. He kind of pauses. He's like, Noct is very. He hates using adventurers as he feels it's too disorderly and that it results in bad things in the meanwhile, whereas the right way is. His arguments have been using the psychopomps more vicious ones. If they didn't have everyone running freely through the streets, they wouldn't have to worry about the friendly fire issue. They actually are. The chef's family apparently has a ritual he wants to use that will summon a literal army of them, of Essobox and Vance, destroying all the undead that aren't currently in the hands of the Pharasmans. He's also very, very adamant about the destruction of the vampire stricken. Sabti is convinced that doing such an army would, even to retake the necropolis, would result in all of those pinned in the crypt's deaths as well.
Almost certainly. These things are not. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, they're not really known for their mercy as far as what it is they're tasked with doing. It's not gonna lie, it's a pretty grisly plan there.
In the end, though, we can't have. I mean, as much as Sabti is strongly affiliated with the group, we can't have the church forming a schism, because after this we need to be able to work together. So I was hoping maybe if you lot went in there and maybe talked her down and stopped him.
Yeah.
Because she trusts you. So if you can prove yourself to him, I imagine that she'll probably back whatever play you do.
Yeah. Whatever we can do to avoid an army of psychopomps, to be honest. That would
That'd be a problem, yeah.
You hear Kazan invisibly on his shoulder. She's like, I mean, the Vance can be kind of reasonable, but I mean, with how many Essabox they'd summon, they'd probably kill at least 100 people.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Vans did seem reasonable. They look scary as shit. I mean, there's definitely psychopomps that would be useful, just not the Estabox in this number.
Yeah, the issue is just the sheer casualties along with the undead that would be caused would cause a large rift in the church. Like that would be a huge problem, reasonable or not.
It'd cause a rift beyond just in the church, I'm sure.
Well, right, but I mean that's what we're trying to avoid. We should 100% avoid that.
Right, gotcha.
You can hear the sound of breaking porcelain inside the temple.
We should head inside.
We should go inside. Yeah.
Yeah, as you guys even enter, like in the center, you can see that everyone's circled about. You can see that there's a line of acolytes that are actually shielding the shadowed section where they have the vampires, because they're basically forming a bit of a human line. As there's not a whole lot of the military ones in here, but at the same time, in the dead center, you see a Sabti and who you assume to be Noct are literally pretty much nose to nose, like yelling at each other. Sabti and them at first just you don't have authority here, Sabti. The authority for the security of the town lies with my sect, and that and she's like, you need to listen to what I have to say. You should be deferring to my judgment, and we should be united. And the people are what we're here to protect, not the buildings. But it's clear that Noct is looking, as you hear, I can't do all of his arguments with my voice like this, so I apologize, because shouting at myself would be difficult like this. But Noct seems to be very, very much in preferring for quick, decisive action, because we haven't seen stronger undead. The worst we've seen are ghouls, and not even the ghasts seem to be rising or any of that. But he's like, what happens if ghasts and mummies start rising? Our forces can't repel those. But psychopomps can. And then she's like, so we go in there with our mortal kin, and we get the people out, and then we worry about cleansing. Even if there are bigger ones, if your army is so grand, if everyone is safe, they can do what they want then. By then, there'll be too many. Even a great army can fall. You're gonna have to break into the argument.
She's right, indiscriminate deploying an S-box into a necropolis is a terrible idea for several reasons. Most of all, the probably 100 or so additional undead that you'd add into the mix, and then if you did send a physical army in, it's not telling what would happen.
Not to mention the civil backlash over the next year or two against the church specifically.
Those are mostly our men in there. I don't think we'll see much backlash. They would understand.
Citizens
and
are citizens.
I don't know if they would. I've seen your men. Your men have been fleeing from, well, shadows.
Not my men, maybe hers.
These were militant church people, which I believe is your department.
Yeah, the ones that fled actually were his.
Yeah, no, they were definitely yours, dude. They left. Right now, the gate has, well, it's not undefended now, but it was temporarily down to one person. We've shored up the defenses a little bit. We actually came back here to get more people, but then we found you arguing about a terrible plan. So this is now our attention.
And you see Sabti just steps on. These are the terrible adventurers that you're so afraid of, causing chaos and the. He's like, oh yes, and I'm sure they've done no share of looting of the dead or any of. And then Sabti's like, is that really what you're going to argue when the city may potentially become one giant necropolis?
What's the name of the
What's the name of what?
I'm sorry, I mean to cut Deckle off.
What? What were you saying, Dick?
We haven't been looting, if that's your concern now.
Yeah, what's the name of the acolyte that was actually still at the gate even after the shadow appeared?
Balthemo. Balthemo.
Said ball them.
Yes.
So, whose subordinate is ball them? Is it hers or yours?
Sabti raises. She's mine. She's one of my acolytes.
Right. She deserves a raise and a promotion because she stayed and fought, whereas the militant men put down their arms and ran away. And now you're suggesting that you're going to corner the rest of men who probably have a similar point of view underground with the undead and then unleash more undead on them. And you don't see how there would be any action. Are you from the city? Are you aware that communities exist outside of Post?
You'd see as Noct kind of pauses, and Softy seems to kind of seize the moment as she steps forward and just you seem to be under the impression that the adventurers that I've been hiring, like with the Festered Sun, these are literally the ones that helped us with that. You were this way with that too, and that ended all right. Oh, all right. You seem to make a score of vampires from whatever method you made over the entire town. Yes, some fell.
Yeah, that's like the percentage of people that were affected versus that could have been affected is relatively minor. I mean, simple math.
How many infected are in this like church right now?
There were a little over a dozen vampires, and then there were about 3 dozen Dampier.
Okay, but there's like, is there less than 100 infected
Yes.
like in this room? I'm gonna point at them and be like, you want to kill more than that as casualties for the army you want to summon. You understand? Like, the volume that you speak of is grotesque at best. I'm being polite.
Death comes from. Sabti immediately just. Death comes when it's due, not because we make it. And the fact that you would say that makes me seriously question your aptitude with the ladies' teachings. And if you really doubt their abilities, I imagine this lot could demonstrate that they are far superior to most, if not all, of your men, and probably most of your psychopaths.
Yeah, but I don't really want to be fighting undead to do.
He kind of pauses, perhaps, but if you want to assuade my doubts, maybe then proof of your prowess, maybe then we can put this to rest. Because I can bring one of my advance and show the skill and expertise that they're going to, and I'll show their restraint with not killing. You defeat him, and maybe I'll allow Sabti's plan to move forward. Allow? Sabti's like you're going to allow me.
Magram, grant us patience. Whose son is this? Who gave you this promotion? You didn't earn it. Whose son are you?
She has Noct strains of and just I am Noct Shefses. I am the descendant of the liberator of Wati, Nefru Shefs.
Descendant of. Yes. My accolades are his accolades. Blah, blah, blah. Give me your vent and shut up.
He points to one of his men. He's like, Go to the spire and tell them to send Ajin Rabaka. The look he gives him is kind of a look of surprise, but goes to run.
Greg just gets their musket ready. Oh, this is gonna make an interesting report to send back home.
You can hear Verlawaz on your shoulder.
No,
Sorry, what?
nothing.
Verlawaz kind of bouncing on your shoulder, but just the Ajin Rabaka is a fierce warrior.
That's good.
I
Derek
was-
shot a shadow.
I was just asking Griark if she would approve or no.
I mean, as long as we don't kill it. She'll probably find it funny.
So they're going to get a psychopomp, right? So is that...
Yeah, they're basically going to tell the spire they want to send this named, sounds like a van.
Do we, Can I do a knowledge religion to know more about Vance?
Yeah,
Particularly their weaknesses, things like that.
go for it.
Sorry, my... Knowledge religion?
Yeah, religion or planes. Planes will get you better info, but no, religion
Oh,
will
it
get you
doesn't
some.
matter. Oh, look at
Okay.
that tree. Oh, it's gross.
Dev knows some though.
Do you need me to get a planes roll for you guys?
Yeah, go for a planes.
No, I forgot one anyways.
No.
Guys, I know a thing or two about planes.
That
Okay.
you do.
They fly.
Actually, yeah. Hobbs, you know that, yeah, they play. That you need adamantine to pierce their DR, and they're immune to anything with death descriptor or death effects. They're immune to disease and poison. They have resistance to cold and electricity and spell resistance. Not super high, but high enough for you guys at this level. They have a fear aura, and they tend to fight with a sight that they can summon to hand, regardless of where it is. And it's generally very dangerous. Otherwise, they have 2 claws as well. They can shoot light that is very effective at killing undead, as well as they can locate creatures regardless of where you are. They basically can hunt you down. And then otherwise, they can teleport at will, invisible at will. You know their other abilities. They are, even though they are themselves corporeal creatures, they always can touch spirits. Yeah.
They sound like massive pain in the asses. Yeah, I'll relay as much light to the party as I can.
Do you know what language they speak?
Yeah, you would. You would know that they speak Abyssal, Celestial, and Infernal. Generally, Verla will be able to tell you that she knows that that Ajin Rabakoth speaks as well Common Osariani and Ancient Osariani.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
she-
I have a few of those languages.
And she knows them.
Oh, she knows.
She don't. Yeah, she would be able to point out that she knows he's kind of known for not speaking with words, but he will still conversate as much as he will without. So he'll understand you, but probably respond with as few gestures as possible.
Just need him to understand. Well, Hobbs, you're not wrong,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Adamantine.
Top T comes over to you and like, I'm gonna be right out of hand in case it gets out of hand. Also, call if it does end up going out of hand,
So
call
another-
for mercy. None of your what? You cut out. Hello? Am I still alive?
Yeah, you are.
I'm not a sus child, Gabriel.
Be nice, Gabriel.
Goblin.
Hmm?
What were you saying? You cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was asking Deckle, didn't they have an adamantine flail?
Yeah, you guys found one at the at one of the houses, yeah.
Did we keep that or did we sell that?
It's still on the loot list.
I guess we kept it then.
Does anyone
Yeah,
know
but
how
ho-
to use the flail?
You would know that their DR is 10, so it might be worth using regardless, because you might not be able to get through it otherwise.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess I can use it.
Wow, you really stopped mid-song? What a turd.
Deckle, if you'd rather not, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not going to be good with it, but I don't mind lugging it around.
I
just
mean,
for the fight.
I'm not proficient, but I can hit hard, so it's still worthwhile.
That works. That works for me.
Well,
So-
assuming it's magical, because I.
Yeah, whatever this thing is, it's going to be a major pain in the ass for me. like, like sure it isn't resistant to fire, but it has spell resist, and all I do is spell.
That's okay.
Is the adamantine flail magical?
No.
I don't believe so, no.
Flail, can that be used as a two-handed flail if it's.
Yeah. So that means you could two-handed Deckle as a... So for you, it would be a two-handed weapon.
We'll do that then.
You take a -2 penalty to wielding it as it's out of size.
-4 for fuck.
So it just straight up. Sorry, I'm just making sure I have like a firm grasp on this. So if we don't have adamantite, our weapons will not do damage.
They'll do 10 less.
Okay.
That is a question. Because
What's
I've
up?
never done this before. The Mage Bowl's function of the spell slinger, basically I sacrifice spell slots, or spell, yeah. At a certain level, I get an enhancement bonus up to +5, depending on the spell slots. Like, I would sacrifice a second level spell slot, I get +2. And, or I can put, like, you know, like flaming. Like, the thing I've been doing, like, if I use a higher level, if I use a second level spell slot, do I get, like, 2 of those things add on? Can I, like,
Yeah, you get a
do
+2.
mythical flaming, or.
You would get a +2 or 2 +1s.
Gotcha. Okay, just checking. Because I don't have a bunch of adamantine bullets to use, so I'm gonna have to find extra damage other ways.
What's your highest level spell slot?
I mean, right now I can only cast second level spells.
Right, but what?
The
Okay.
highest level spell slot is a 3rd.
Okay. Because let me double check something. Because there is an enchantment that reduces DR, but it only does it for a round.
Yeah, but I have a very specific list of the ones I can use, so I don't think it's on there.
Oh, it's not like the Magus where you can add any of them.
No, it's dancing, defending, distance, flaming burst, frost, ghost touch, icy burst, merciful, seeking, shock, shocking burst, spell storing, thundering, vicious, and wounding.
Yeah, none of those is it. Yeah, there is a +2 enchantment that reduces DR by 5 for every time you hit with it, and it stacks for a full round.
Yeah, if it was anyone, I'd be picking Bane.
Yeah, Bane also bypasses, which Bane's a level 1 spell if you have that.
I fortunately don't have this spell.
You do have about an hour to prepare before he's going to... Well, he has to get to the spire. So that runner has to get to the spire. And from what it sounds like, Sabji's like, most likely he'll teleport here once he gets here.
Then in the meantime, we should probably deal with the actual reason we came here.
Yeah, you could give her the note.
Yeah, sorry. Got distracted the whole thing. There needed to be reinforcements at the gate as Brian looks over this other guy. All the other guards, except for yours, left. We sent 3 Graven Guardians that way. They were kind enough to go help. And then there was a couple of volunteers that saw that was trouble, and they were there too. But obviously, the 4 of them aren't exactly trained. She also needs a bunch of holy water and a bunch of holy symbols to shore up the defenses.
At least 1 crate and then 16 holy symbols, silver or higher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ideally.
I'll just have some of my acolytes here give up theirs until... Alright. So you can see she goes around and replaces some of the acolytes, taking all their silver that they're selling and then giving a couple of them either wooden or even golden ones and just to get silver. She's going at silver is the best against undead and spirits, so... But she prepares that for it, and otherwise just we want to wait for this first.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Did you want to have someone else try to identify the sword?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that shit. I can give it a shot at
Yeah, I butchered my roll.
27.
So you would recognize that as a lesser form of the arrow slicer. Very expensive sword. You would know that it basically, whenever it's wielded or in hand, it glows with a faint blue. Otherwise, it's a +1 limiting. It does not have an extra effect, hence why it's cheaper. However, it gives a +2 on perception checks in order to avoid a danger that would allow you to act in the surprise round. And then it also then allows you... This one is a bit better in one regard. As the normal arrow slicer cannot target firearms ones, this one can. So basically, as an immediate action, when you're targeted by a ranged weapon that uses firearms, basically not rays, so basically not magical ones, you can do a reflex saving throw as an immediate action to deflect it. And if you exceed it by more than 5, then you can slice it in half and cause a shaken effect in all the foes that see you do it.
That's so
But-
gangster.
That's badass, yeah.
That's a gangster ass sword. Deck will get really good with swords and get that.
There's gonna be bogged down in swords.
Already got a heavy flail right now. Just become a barbarian and dual wield your heavy flail and this crazy sword.
Yes, its actual value is 12,130 gold.
Woof.
130 HP.
Normal value of an arrow slicer is 21,310.
My lord.
Nice.
This one's, but it also is overpriced. People have talked about it before on the forums where it's like, for what it does, it's overpriced. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to change it up. But I did make it so that it affects firearms because firearms are more prevalent in this campaign. So it'd be rude to give you one where it's like, everyone has bullets.
Here's your sword.
If you don't know what limning does, limning is amazing against spirits, by the way. Because it basically is fairy fire on a sword. You hit them with the sword and they get fairy fired.
Noise.
That's a good spell. I have that spell.
You know, limning in particular is on a successful strike that has any sort of magical concealment that gives them fairy fire for a round. So that includes blur, displacement, invisibility, anything from supernatural spell-like, but nothing from extraordinary. Doesn't affect ones that are hidden by environment, though, so like fog. But otherwise, you could potentially look around for someone else who might be able to aid you. You do have some allies who might be able to cast a spell on you that might last long enough to affect your duel.
Oh, true. We have Lummy Girl, whose name I've forgotten, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an Inquisitor.
Yeah. We ask her. Let's go ask her.
Yes. Yes, Bane.
Yeah, she's currently in the undead ward, as they have it, since they are effectively threatening to kill all the semi-undead, and she's effectively half undead. Well, not even effective, she literally is the template half undead. I see you're all still alive, I'm not that surprised.
Well, give it an hour.
Yeah, the day is
Seems that you're due for a fight with, sounds like someone very important of this I don't even know what his rank is.
somewhere between pompous and then that stuff that builds up in the corner of your mouth whenever you're real thirsty. It's about his rank.
She chuckles softly.
It does sound like we have to kill, or not kill, but fight a rather powerful psychopomp, and we were curious if there's anything you could do to assist us with that when the time comes.
Take a look at her spell list.
Right, so we don't really want to kill this thing, right?
Ideally, no. Because if it's going to take this long to get here, it's probably like actually here, and killing it might actually kill it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think... Do you think it's possible to make it just yield?
I mean, if we get low enough down,
I was thinking if we disarm it, maybe get it, in some form of prostrated, it might,
yeah. If we're in a position where like we could finish it, though, but we'd probably have to admit defeat.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, oh, let's disarm it, but I forgot I can recover its weapon from anywhere. So.
We could all just sit down and pray to Pharasma and ask if she can just tell him to, like, throw the battle.
I love that so much. You have no idea, Nikki. That's wonderful.
Half
Seems that
tempted
you
to
have a
try
good-
it.
Seems that you have a decent weapon for it, at least. She gestures to the adamantine flail.
Yeah, if only I knew how to use it.
Oh, that I certainly could assist you with. I can simply give you proficiency with it. There's magic that does that.
That would be helpful.
Is there a spell that just gives proficiency?
Yep, bestow weapon proficiency.
What?
Inquisitor 1. Yeah, it's a level 2 alchemist, anti-paladin cleric, Inquisitor, Magus, Paladin, Psychic, Sorcerer, Wizard, and Witch spell. Standard action lasts a minute a level, so she'll have to do it right before the fight. But it gives you a single use a weapon that you're not proficient in as though you're proficient. It can be any type, including exotic, but you have to be holding example of the weapon. So she just simply reaches out and touches his head. It'll be active, and in his case, it'll last a while, but she would just say, I'll wait till they're closer to being here. Otherwise, double checking other spells she has. How many weapons do you have that are going to hit him with a weapon?
I'm gonna shoot him. That's not the same as hitting him.
I would like to hit him with.
It has to be one. It has to be a melee weapon.
Okay. I would like to turn my hammer into a Earthbreaker.
Okay. The other spell will also last just as long. I need. Do you have a? Actually, she stops and she points a finger at Verlois. She's like, "I'm gonna need a little bit of your blood, and I'm gonna need to, and I need it now because it'll need to be dry. Just a few drops. I can cast a spell that'll effectively let you pierce its DR and give you the Bane quality. I could Bane a weapon, but it lasts seconds. You'll notice I'm doing that for you.
Gotcha.
If you get more blood, can you do it more times?
Yeah.
Perhaps it's a good idea to get a little bit more blood. I can help you dry it faster, and I'll heat up my hands.
Your Verlois kind of lets out a soft squeak, but she holds out a wing.
No. Very delicately cut the wing. Give just a little bit of blood.
Yeah, you could probably just like remove a blood feather and then just get some drops out of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gentle head pets.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. She just kind of squeaks and just nods and just don't. I'd prefer if you don't kill him too, but I mean, I don't want you to lose either. And I don't want him to kill one of you.
I don't think anybody wants to kill him, to be fair.
I don't think he would want to kill you either. Although at the same time, knowing him, he probably won't hold back, so be wary. He's very stern.
2 quick things. 1, does anyone have any healing? I'm about down a third.
Oh yeah.
Didn't they heal us?
Yeah, they heal. Whenever you're here, they heal you to full.
My apologies. And 2, about at
It's
like
11.
the 45, 50 minute mark, like the point where it's like, oh, you might be coming back soon. I'm casting Mage Armor on myself.
Okay.
I just want to maximize the amount of time that I have it just in case some sort of fuckery happens.
Yeah, and I imagine then you could probably talk to Sabti and say, hey, we want to fight him as quick as possible. And Sabti's not really against or for, like, they're not lawful, they're pure neutral, so it's the fact that you want to pre-buff is not really a concern to her, but simply just so that the spells will last, because basically her spells will last a little over 10 minutes, because she's effectively level 11. But yeah, she'd point out that she could do it to a total of, so she could do it to 3, because that'd be all of her level 4 spells that she hasn't used yet. I should say she has more than 3, but
It wouldn't be considered a humanoid creature, would it?
no.
Okay. Double checking all my bases.
But yeah, she'll point out that the spell she's using functions like Bane, and if you crit, it'll actually slow him down as well, i.e. it'll nauseate him. So she can only put it on melee weapons, so she can put it on the flail as well. And then, so then it would be that and the hammer, and then what?
I mean, I could get it on my sword, but I'll probably be casting spells from the back if I'm honest. Even though it has high spell resist, I mean, I have some pretty high level spells I can just fucking try.
feel like this might be one of those cases where it's kind of like a condom. Better to have one, not need it, than need it, not have one.
That's fair. If like she enchants the weapon and I like put the weapon on my side to cast the spells and shit like that, I'm assuming the buff stays.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'll get on my pink Kopesh then.
Yeah, and then she'll be giving the proficiency for Tickle. You'll still have the -2. She can't solve that for you, but
Yeah.
you do get 10.5 strength, so there's that.
Pause.
But it is 11 though, so I'll probably have to say this for the next one. But
Yeah, you're right.
Effectively, thematically, you would see as there's. Or wait, sound like Koala was gonna say something.
Deckle, would it be more beneficial for you to have proficiency in the Kopesh and use that instead of the flail?
No, because of the adamantine thing.
Oh, gotcha. I guess you're right.
That's the Kopesh passes the R.
Kopesh doesn't, but keep in mind the spell she's putting on you is giving you Bane. Bane lets you bypass.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's what. Wouldn't you have a higher plus to hit with the Kopesh instead of the flail?
Well, I mean, based on that logic, Deckle could just use their own weapon.
Yeah.
That's
Which would also be a fourth version of the spell she could cast on you guys too. You could do a fourth melee weapon.
Deckle, how much do you use your spells in combat? Do you have spells? I don't know. I don't know what
spells, but they're more for buffing and healing.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking perhaps we give like the quote-unquote stronger sword to Deckle, just for the combat. So Deckle has the highest possible thing because Deckle's gonna be in there hitting a lot. We give them the best possible weapon that Deckle can use. Give him proficiency with it. Buff it up. Let Deckle go fucking ham. I'll stay in the back, cast spells, and I'll buff up my normal Kopesh in case I need to get in close and hit him. So we'll all have our best possible chance of doing as much damage as possible. If I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you would see as probably as there's a bit of it sounds like almost like a very small crack of thunder, just seems more like a sudden crack, and you'd see stepping out as if from behind something invisible, you'd see is a very large skeletal creature with a sort of bird-like mask and a massive kind of coppery gleaming adamantine scythe, and then alongside them with a hand on. The scythe is on their back, and they have a claw on each of two Essa boxes. They seem to be guiding them through the same teleportation. But everyone grows quiet as they watch, and a lot of people move out of the main middle as you look back and you see they've moved a couple pews. It looks like they intend to maybe fight it right here in the temple. Same time, it's holy ground, so not that they're afraid of blood in here. You do see his Sabti, and as it steps in, you'd see damn it, I don't have her name in front of me. I know I wrote it down in Discord. But the Inquisitor, Shard? No, that's the stone one.
Mentuit. Mentuit.
I meant to it, yeah. So she reaches over and casts spells on your weapons as they're talking, taking a couple seconds there, and then gestures for you. You see as Sabti actually takes out what looks like a dagger and makes a sort of cutting motion to her hand, as her hand actually seems to bleed a little bit, even though she didn't touch it, but then you'd see as a little ghostly hand appears in front of her. And she just simply quietly says no one's going to die in this duel. It just seems like she's preparing to magic for that sake. But Noct otherwise steps forward and just calmly intones just, alright. When you lot are ready then, hopefully not too long, so we're not wasting too much advanced time. If you can defeat our best servant, he's our best warrior and he would be leading the army, and his war dogs, then we will take you and your plan in place of the psychopomps. don't want to see anyone die. So, I say, if it's amenable to you lot, that the battle will be fought until only the majority of one side falls. Either both of his dogs, or he and one of his, or the majority of you four. Well, 5. You're including your dog.
So we could actually not even.
Yeah, you could just...
and just fight.
New plan.
I know.
Yeah, Essobox are a lot easier to hit, but he's also very lethal, so...
Yeah.
Because he is also using an adamantine scythe, which means if he crits, he'll probably kill one. Now, it seems like Softy's there to magic, but keep in mind, that's no guarantee. Well, she can res you, but you know that their res is a reincarnate because it's the cheapest version right now. Otherwise, you could wait till after, but then you'd be dead until the crisis is over. Out of character, and even if you ask, she'd say she's basically readying an action to cast Breath of Life. And since Breath of Life is a full action, a full-round action, she's using Spectral Hand, so she doesn't have to move. Spectral Hand moves over and lets you cast through it. But we'll be saving this for next session. I have a picture for the Discord for Ajin Rabaka. I could share all these with the chat, but...
Jesus fucking Christ. That's so metal.
Yeah, he's here to fuck you up.
I live for that.
Oh no.
I win. Can I have his scythe?
He's a pretty badass scythe.
Listen, I love scythes. They're totally like not good for battle in like the real world,
Nope.
but I love scythes. They're so good.
I love scythes because when you get a 20 and confirm it, it's just such a... It's like that man is deleted.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And that's a big old scythe he's got.
Ah, dear, yeah.
But it was how it was a good old game plan. I plan on probably blowing most of my spells, if not all of them, on him for commands and forbid actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys just destroy, absolutely obliterate those dogs.
Yeah, that's the game plan now. Is like, if you guys can just play bodyguard and keep him off of me, I'm gonna fucking light up the dogs with spells.
But I know how my luck goes with people and their crits, so we'll see.
Yeah, this is one where you very much want them to crit because he's gonna stingle.
Yeah, I'm seeing a heavy battle droid all over again.
Oh no! Oh god, yeah, that triple shot just went. And this was new armor too, you bastard!
First combat, new armor, 72 damage to the fucking eyeball.
This was Sebulba's armor.
Well, hell yeah, good session. It was fun.
I'm glad you had.
Yeah, I have a giant gavel. That's also a tiny gavel. It's also a medium gavel. There's no like feats or anything that would give me additional swift actions, are there?
There are ways to get more, yeah.
Interesting.
Otherwise, also in the term of proficiencies, keep in mind that you guys can, with downtime, train proficiencies. You get them in the same... If you look at the retraining page, anything where it mentions languages, the house rules, I also allow that to be weapon proficiencies. You have only so many you can do per how many class skills you've unlocked, but you can do that. It does cause cold, though. But considering that's otherwise a feat to take to get a proficiency, not bad.
Man,
might try to train in Ancient Asariani when I have the chance. Just
What?
so I can start talking to the Ancient Asariani people too.
This last level, I picked up a bunch of languages. So all my spell casting is very dependent on it.
That's very fair.
Looking forward to the next session, though.
Yeah. Shame you gotta wait so long.
I know.
I'm going to shame that fella again.
Again?
Yeah, whichever guy Sopti was arguing with, I'm going to shame
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Make him feel bad about his life choices. I hope he does. You know, one of these days, I'm going to make a character that is literally just does, like, damage through wit. And that's it. It's going to be the whole shtick. There's not going to be a complex backstory, anything of that nature. It's just going to be, like, somehow find a way to just keep stacking, like, psychic damage. And just do it all from, like, what's that one? Vicious Mockery? Mockery.
If we ever did any of the, what do you call it? GURPS 4th Ed, there's literally Rapier Wit, where you can do their version of Diplomacy as an attack during combat, and if you succeed, they're just stunned and they lose their next turn. And if you get a critical success or they get a critical failure, you deal actual damage to them.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, you told me about GURPS before. I need to play that.
I mean, not right now since we have so many games, but if we do get another opening, I'd be down for. Like, I really wanted to do the Traveler campaign that my friend gave me the intro for, because that has a really good. It's very, 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 very techy, but it also is a lot of fun because it, like, as far as sci-fi goes, it's not so much like the heroic sci-fi, but it's very. I don't know.
I think honestly,
Interesting.
my personal attractions end up like leaning more towards sci-fi than fantasy, which is kind of odd to say because I've played a shitload of fantasy stuff, but I don't know.
It seems hard to find good sci-fi stuff.
It really does.
With the recent
Yeah.
cyberpunk anime, I would be totally down if someone ran a fucking cyberpunk
I mean,
game sort of.
I still kind of want to do that somewhere. It's I've been wanting to do like a Shadowrun-esque one based on the Pathfinder world, but not do it in Starfinder because Starfinder is too sci-fi. So like more cyberpunk-esque. I had started a mini campaign with some of my friends before about that, where it was a plot where it was actually people from the Pathfinder world got time warped into the future. They were basically all. The entire premise being was that like there was some magical stuff that was in a radius, and they basically people in the future, rather than they don't actually have time travel, but they had the ability to basically just kind of grab things from the past, and they had to wait till when it was less impactful on the past because they didn't want to like fuck their future.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically it grabbed a sphere of basically all the players who were all prisoners in a drow fortress, and then it also took one of their drow captors who was kind of like on the nicer side. I wanted they would actually be like, on good terms with them. There was one that was like basically a little bit more merciful, kind of joking, and kind of just like, hey, you're here. Wait, if you get out, we'll be buds. But for now, I got to do my job, And so then in the future, though, it was also that the drow had been basically wiped out over time, and so she was like, everyone else thought, like all the sci-fi people thought that she was like doing it like did it cosmetically when she actually is. And so she was like super sad.
Oh, yeah.
Synth had interesting choices in that one. But all right. So for anyone still lingering here, thank you for being here. I think I'm gonna mute up and talk to my chat and go send them. I think I'm gonna go raid to Doggy.
Fair enough. Also, never forget, Cyberpunk has its own actual like tabletop system.
Yeah, but I don't want to learn another system. I like my systems.
Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, you guys.
And yeah. Going to try. And get up as well. Model sister, Calgie. Note.
Fucking hate you, but that was like good. That was good shit. Nuts and leaves. Okay, that was funny. You know, sure, I usually fucking hate you, but that was good. That was good shit. That was good shit.
What the fuck?
Bruno, how are you doing? Sister, Zooster.
Oh my god!
How are you doing? Sibling,
Huh?
How goes the force? We're having fun. We've only
You
been
okay?
12 times.
I've been going to the gym every other day for a few months. Now my entire life is I'm sore and I have to pee.
Okay.
Please, I'm in the middle of something. Sir, I'm in the middle
That's
of
been a
something.
big stretch, though.
Ow,
Straight up.
fucking Christ, he's fast as fuck. Oh my god, please, Lord, please. Hello, my name is Doggy.
What's everybody else up to?
Strawberry Fox Spirit. Headphones are recommended because I'm on a line. Headphones are also not recommended because I'm
Kinda playing games of food.
I love playing video games, but I'm dog
Bye,
shit.
then.
So I'm